Good evening, everyone. I know we're early. I know I said 7 o'clock, half seven. I know we're a bit early. We always seem to be early, which is a good thing because I always go out of my way to get things done before the live stream and stuff like that. Now, there's 100 million things I could talk about. We talk about a few things, not much now. I'm a bit tired. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a bit tired tonight, to be totally honest. So I probably shouldn't be live, to be totally honest, because I'm that tired. To be totally honest. I should be having a break, because especially because next week, if it's tired now, when you see after the election how bad it be, because it's just going to be endless talk for a good week after the election and all. I'm not looking forward to that bit, but I'm not looking forward to the election too, because I'm just constantly talking about this, that, numbers here, how many people got this vote, that vote, the other thing, the other that yoke, the other yoke, this yoke, and that yoke. So it's if it's bad now, it's going to be bad in the election. Hello, good evening, Sean. Sorry, I'm just having a mental breakdown over all the information. Because even when you go home, I'm only home from work just after 5 there, and the amount of stuff you have to try and talk about and cover, it's just you need 6 heads basically to try and process it all. It's quite insane. There's just this person saying this, and then the other person saying that, and then this is that. It's just crazy stuff. But I suppose it's better than saying nothing. I know I'm a bit early just to say to people. I know people might be quiet, and I'm a bit early. But see, the thing about this, I always go out of my way to be early when it's a live stream. My 2 videos uploaded there. There's 100 million things I could talk about in other videos too. Just too much. But anyway, how are you doing, Sean? Sorry, apart from my mental breakdown, just with all the information, because there's just too much. There's too much information out there, especially in social media and stuff like that. Like, I'm spending more time in social media than I ever did probably in the last 3 years at this stage. The last time I think it was when I was this much on social media was around Cavan Day. That time, the last Cavan Day. That was about the last time. I haven't been glued in this that much, but this time I have to be glued in because of the election. I need to know what's going on in different areas, etc., etc. So it's just too much information to try and cover. It's pages and pages and pages and pages. Hello, Fiona. How are we doing? How are we keeping? I know we're early, just to say to people, I know that. See, it's roughly around that time, because usually I go out of my way to be early when I'm live. So I'm recording videos in the background and stuff like that. I'm still recording the people running for the Cavan election stuff. That'll probably be out sometime next week. I want to give it another way yet, because I'm still adding bits onto it, like different things. So that's why it's not been out yet, and I'm kind of waiting for the last, just to hear everything before I say anything, if that makes any sense. But I haven't got many canvassers around. The two Fianna Fáil like that themselves, but canvassers, people, canvassing on behalf of them were around. But apart from that, there's literally been nobody else around me, like, been around today or the last week. Nobody at all. Like, it's a ghost town. I don't know where they all are. They're all running away because they must know I'm going to ask them some tough questions on different stuff. So I basically only had Fianna Fáil around. Nobody else has been around, which is peculiar, because not that next Friday is the election, isn't it? Next Friday. Which you won't find now. Tomorrow's Thursday and then Friday. You won't find it creeping up. And then it'll be Christmas, the 1st of December, and after that too. So, I don't know. Tomorrow was the one away. So, because it's weird. Like, literally no other parties call around. I don't know why they call around two Fianna Fáil. But just nothing ready to write home about it, because it's just the same old Fianna Fáil. So there's a good bit to talk about. Not that much, but a good bit. See, it's not going to be that long of a stream because, again, I'm a bit tired. Didn't get that good of a sleep last night, to be honest. I don't know why. I just didn't get much sleep. Even though I went to bed early enough. It was late now, Monday night. Obviously with the big debate and stuff like that, trying to process everything was being said, etc., etc. It was a lot. Let's put it that way. And then obviously I couldn't make the video during the night, Anyway, sorry for my rambling. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm just trying to comprehend. I'm trying to think in my head at the same time when I'm rambling about what I'm talking. So yeah. Everybody looking forward to snow. We're going to get snow tomorrow. What's the weather in Ballymore? There was a bit of snow here this morning. When I mean by bit, but it wouldn't even fill up your hand. It's only a small bit. So it must only snow for about 2 seconds and then it stopped. So it wasn't much addition. It might not have bothered the snow at all. Give me a second, just look at it. That's okay. We'll start in a few minutes. Sorry. Ooh. It's freezing again now. Yeah, well, they would establish a new. Well, not they know what the established grip was suggesting that they establish it. Pascal Donner, who has always kind of been a sweet talker, he promised the moon out on stars, and then when he gets in, he bankrupt the country. But sure, look at. I don't know what could happen, but he it just promises after promises. It's everything in the kitchen sink. If you wanted the kitchen sink now and you asked them for a kitchen sink, you might get a kitchen sink because it's just a. Oh yeah, you're talking about the other one, yeah, because there's not many interviews with them. It's hard to account who's what's what. Oh yeah, well, there's never going to be any accountability in terms of anything. That's pretty much that's pretty much what he means. There's never going to be anything done about it. Yeah. Oh, the hospital, as it was pointed out in the debate, I don't know if you watched it. I think you said you wouldn't watch it, but it was pointed out by Patrick Tobin to Simon House that he was the Minister for Health when the hospital was proposed, etc. So basically, he had the final say because again, at the end of the day, he's the Minister for Health. He had to sign off on it. So he had the final say in the hospital. Simon House. Everybody forgets he used to be the Minister for Health, but he was the Minister for Health. So he had the final say. So he's to blame for that one. To be told, well, the told him the ball stops with the Taoiseach anyway. But nobody ever be held to account to anything basically in this country. That makes any sense. All forgiven, all forgotten. That's what they hope. I know. I don't think it's going to end up maybe going their way, but we see. That's only the tip of the iceberg. If we knew about how much they were spending behind the scenes, bicycle shed, you could buy 3 billion bicycle sheds for what they're spending behind the scenes. The Office of Public Works spent 7,000 on curtains. Yeah, they decided to give it literally for the price they're spending on a security hut and the bicycle shed. Then the curtains for 70,000, which is only put up 3 times, wasn't it? And then obviously, then you have the hospital. Which the hospital, take for example, the National Children's, the most expensive hospital in the world, nearly €4 billion. The most expensive one in the world. Imagine that, Matt. For that, you could nearly give everybody in the country a bicycle shed. Generally, you could, for the amount of money they're spending. It's quite literally criminal. And then you add in the allowances. Take, for example, the infamous Twitter in Darley, and I don't know if you know about it. There was a few years ago. They had the knockdown walls, etc., etc. It was insane. They had the knockdown walls for Big Puerto, and then it didn't work, and then the staff didn't know how to use it, and they spent 12 million on it. It's insane. And then we're paying for the tabs and the door bar. It's just the list is endless, and that's what we know about. That there's more to come, but that's what we know about. It's insane. But good to see, man. I hope you're doing well. But that's they're probably doing I think the Late Late Toy Show, isn't it all next week? No, it's not next week. It's the week after. Wasn't it? It's the 6th, yeah, the 6th of December. So maybe they'll be giving out free bicycle sheds on the Late Late Toy Show to everybody in the audience. No, the way they do that on the Late Late Toy Show to everybody in the audience. Everybody in the audience gets this, that, basically they go out with a trolley load of stuff at the end of the Late Late Toy Show. Hello, Weiss, how are you doing? Yeah, it's zero accountability, all forgiven, all forgotten. It's the same with the bicycle. That was as Patrick Tobin actually pointed out, in fairness, Aintree made a good point. If he was in a private business, take for example, Simon Harris or Micheál Martin, or Eamon Ryan, take for example. If you owned a business, take for example, in the morning, and you give them a budget to do something, like take for example, do up the front of your shop. Take for example, you owned a shop and you employed this fellow to look after your shop, to do up it and to manage all that. And if he went over budget that much, he'd be out the door. If that was in the private sector, they wouldn't have a job; he'd be gone. But in the public sector, it's okay because everything's forgiven and forgotten. Hello, everyone. But yeah, no, it's insane amount of money. I think people forget about the Puerto. That they had to go through so much hassle to get the Puerto in. And it's still, I don't think they use it. That's the best part. It just sits in the door and they don't use it because the staff didn't know how to use it and had to train the staff to do it. And I never seen such kabuck. Hello, Sean. How are you doing? Chinese media. Yeah, well, don't forget North Korea too. North Korea. You're forgetting North Korea on that one, along with the Chinese one, of course. But you know, but I think we can all agree what's happening in Gaza too shouldn't be happening, and particularly because the Irish government have really facilitated in the way. A lot of it because we're allowing the weapons of war, the bombs that are going to bomb innocent children, etc., to go over the country. Like they're coming over every day of the week from the United States, bombs, ammunition, hundreds of tons of ammunition, more than the Irish Army has ever had in the history of the state. And we're just allowing them to fly over the country. And again, they don't have permits or anything; they shouldn't be doing it. But the Irish government won't stop them doing it. So, and they're going over to bomb, innocent children, etc., in Palestine and other countries too. Because the majority of people who are dying in Gaza, etc., are 70% of them are women and children. People that have literally nothing to do with anything, and that's the sad thing about it. And again, the Central Bank of Ireland's given out bond holders to the Israeli government. Like the Central Bank is giving them money, basically, like facilitating it a bit too. And not to mention too, we should be putting sanctions. Like we shouldn't be trading with Israel. The occupied territories bill should be passed. I think every party in Ireland agrees with both nationalists, any party, all the parties in Dáil Éireann. I think all of them agree that the occupied territories bill should be passed. There should be no trade between Ireland and Israel at the moment. That's what I'm saying, and I think the majority, every party would agree with that. But they had time before the election. This was talked about in the debate too, and I said about it in the video the other day. They had time before the election. All the opposition parties give them time to pass, and they didn't pass it. And the only reason why they didn't, as I said in the video, because the American ambassador to Ireland basically put a stop to it pretty much. Like it's on the ditch. If you look up the ditch website, it's on the ditch, and it's a perfect example because Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael were jumping up and down but passing it, all excited that we get a few votes out of it, etc., etc. Because again, it shouldn't be politics. It's about doing the right thing at this stage, and putting sanctions in place on the people that are blowing up innocent children, etc., etc. And again, don't get me wrong, Hamas and the other crowd have done terrible atrocities too, but there's too many innocent people dying. There's 70,000 innocent people or more that we know of that are dead because Israel is just bombing every place. Like you look at Gaza at the moment, it's nothing left of it. It's been set back to the Stone Age, really. And we shouldn't be complying. We shouldn't be jumping to any country's attention over that. Yeah, that's why. Like, there's been loads of talk. Many YouTubers have put up videos talking about Palestine, etc., and Ireland. But I do think Irish people get it a bit, are more sympathetic and understanding, because obviously we went through genocide back in the day, and it was genocide in 1845 during the famine here. The British were exporting grain, etc., out of the country where people were starving in the country. And obviously, you have to remember too, the British Empire at the time was the biggest in the world, the biggest superpower in the world. And they could have done something if they wanted to help Irish people during the famine, starving. But they didn't. Again, they took out all the grain out of the country and kept exporting it out of Ireland. So they took the food out of Ireland and exported it. So, and then the British government basically did nothing to stop it really at the time. And that's really what happened. There was a genocide. I think everybody really recognizes that nowadays. You get what I'm saying. So I think Irish people get it in that circus, and I do get it. That it shouldn't be happening anyway, because a lot of the people who are getting affected by the more innocent people more than anything else. And again, majority casualties are innocent children and women, and nobody should stand for that. And simple as that. Like it's like if you look at pictures of Gaza and stuff like that, it's like something of an alien planet because it's that bombed into the oblivion, and especially because it's only a small stretch of territory. It's not that huge. Like it's not a huge country, for example. It's only a small enough area, only about the size, maybe a half, not even half a cavan, a bit of cavan, like not much at all, only a few kilometers. And again, I do think it's shameful that we haven't passed the occupied territories bill. To be totally honest, like I'm in favour of passing it. And I think everybody, any politicians, everybody in Ireland is in favour of passing it. I think it's the one issue that everybody can see eye to eye on in Ireland. In terms of that, both left, right, centre, whatever party, I think all parties agree that what's happening over there. The world shouldn't be turning a blind eye to it, and basically looking the other way. Because this genocide, a lot of people are starving to death, etc., etc. I could go on, but we all know. And again, there's been enough talk about it. There has to be action, and the only way they will listen if again the European Union doesn't give them trade, etc., etc. That's the only way they're going to listen. But again, we all know who's backing them to the hilt, and the only reason why it has not been stopped yet is because the United States of America is backing Israel to the hilt. Like there was a recognition put in the United Nations Council in New York today. And the one country that abstained, all the other countries voted in favour, was the United States of America to get a ceasefire in Gaza. Even if they got a ceasefire for a week or two, just to get aid and get supplies, etc., etc. Even if that, it would be something, to help people out, to get to give some people a break and to get food in, etc., etc. But the only country that's blocking is the United States of America. That's the only, and they have veto power in the United Nations Security Council. So there's nothing really can do unless the United States votes in favour. There's nothing else. But every other country on the planet agrees that there should be a ceasefire. But the United States of America is the one stopping it, and it shouldn't be. This is the total answer. Yeah, within 2 hours. Yeah, he's getting your vote. But that's what they should be. Again, I know they're busy this time. There'll be a lot of people emailing, but fair play to them for email. Because again, I wrote letters off that time to the door. Only got 6 of them back, and spending hundreds of euro on writing letters, and not many of them responded back. So even though a few of them did write up on Twitter and stuff about it, so in fairness, maybe I did have a role in that, but I don't know. But that's good. No, that's good that he wrote back. Because again, you can ask him why he didn't write back for Cavan Day for me. But no, that's good. It's always good to get word back because again, I often wrote up long emails, etc., etc., and I never heard anything back from half of the things. There's oftentimes I wrote to TEs, etc., etc., emails, etc., because they can ignore it. They don't have to respond. They can just pretend they didn't get it. Yeah, but we all know. But again, the United States of America is backing them to the hilt, and that's the problem. And there shouldn't be, because again, there's too much suffering. There's too much suffering that needs to be put to a stop, because it's benefiting nobody. It's simple as that. Because there's too many innocent people dying. And same with the war in Ukraine too. They should be used to put a stop to. And again, the only way you do that is by negotiations, etc., etc. Yeah, but definitely, I would say the one TDs I would say you have to vote for that's in the Dáil at the moment, still there at the Dáil, would be Matty McGrath and Cal Nolan, definitely. If anybody's in their constituency, I definitely would consider giving them another vote if I was you. If I was anybody here just from that constituency. I'm not saying who to vote for. If you want to vote for somebody else, I'm entitled to do that. It's a free country. But just my opinion, because they've spoken out very much about different things. So I do think they've spoken out a lot about different things. But anyway, we get started. So give me 2 minutes. I actually have just to do one thing, and I'll be with you in a second. How does that sound? Just give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. I just had to move something because I had my coat there and it's supposed to be hanging up. So it was annoying me looking over and seeing it there because I just kind of put it down on the chair and I meant to put it up in the hanger. And that was what's annoying me because I was looking over and I want to kind of keep things tidy in a way. Because I'd be looking for stuff in my coat and then I wouldn't know where to put it. And get started. Apologies, it took a while to get started. But I shared this in the community post earlier on. So this is in Dundalk. So this person, as I said to you, I don't know where this photo originated, but I wasn't in Dundalk. I think a few people thought I lived in Dundalk, etc. I got it from here. So this is the TD that's won for Dáil Éireann in Loud, who's seeking your number one vote. And I'm sure people have seen the video. I'm not going to show it here, the video, and the injuries of the person that he bet up. But it's pretty severe. Let's put that. I'm not even going to show it you because it's pretty severe. And I'm sure people have seen it. And for Keeper TD in Dundalk, to be totally honest, it should say keep him in prison, to be totally honest, because it is a very serious assault. And we haven't heard why he done it, what was said. We don't know, I suppose, all the details about it, but still, nonetheless, it was a very vicious assault. And we'll make that. And the judge even found him 75% liable in damages, etc., etc. So it's they have a brass neck in coming out and putting this up, basically, Fine Gael. And especially because they say to the party of law and order. Fine Gael is the party of law and order. We can beat people in the street and like we beat up people because we're allowed to do it. It's just going to show you modern Ireland, to be totally honest. But it's unfortunate that he shouldn't be up for the election, to be totally honest, in the first place. He should be not allowed the one, to be totally honest. Yeah, like it is pretty creepy. To put this kind of thing up, but particularly, he shouldn't be probably one in the photo because again, it wasn't known. I covered it when it happened in 2019 because it's a while ago. But it wasn't seen like the CCTV footage of it happening, and then the photo of the victim, but it was all bruised up. I'm sure people have seen it on social media all over. It's in a lot of the newspapers too. Like it's pretty brutal. It's not like he just pushed them. It'd be different if he just pushed them, but pretty serious injuries, to his face that it's going to take a long, long time to heal. Or some of them may never heal, and yeah, I don't think it's, and especially being the party of law and order, that's what rubs me the wrong way. That's what rubs me the wrong way. But that's all I say on the thing. But what I say to people in Loud, if you wish to vote for him, you can. But I would consider what he did, to be totally honest, before you vote for him. Well, hopefully he doesn't get elected. But again, it's up to the people allowed to decide. Now, and how is that's the worst thing. How is this going around canvassing for him, etc., backing them to the hilt? So that's the worst thing about it too. It'd be different if like I get maybe Simon Howes didn't see the CCTV footage before he selected them, etc., but still, nonetheless, if I was the party leader at the moment, he wouldn't be winning. Simple as that. I wouldn't let him win. I would put somebody else in his place. If I was, say, the party leader of Fine Gael, if I imagine me being the party leader of Fine Gael, but long story short, I wouldn't let him win after what I seen. I wouldn't let him. No, I'm not. I'm not seeing any ads, like any political ads. I haven't seen one on YouTube. I've been only watching YouTube, maybe not as often as some people, but I haven't seen any. It's more just the usual ads shit. It's not like political ads. I haven't seen any. I see a lot on them on Facebook. When I'm on Facebook, I see a good few of them pop up. Now, just go back to Francis Noah Duffy. Now, you remember him. He's the Green Party spokesman on housing. And he objected to 330 houses being built in his area. Now, he proposed these houses to be built. He proposed these houses to be built and then voted against it. And then didn't want them. It doesn't make much sense. I'm sure you would agree. It doesn't make much sense. Sorry, give me that. So I was replying to a comment. I can't speak. But the long story short, this is very hypocritical. Propose something and vote against it. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. To be totally honest, just to say to people, I'm not fully switched on at the moment. What I mean by that is I'm tired a bit. So if you see me kind of dazing off into the distance for a few minutes, then bear with me. I get back to myself. Where was it now? I was supposed to start. Okay, yeah. So you were asking Fiona too about the video to talk about the candidates and stuff. Who I'd be voting for, my opinion on the candidates. That's common. It'll probably be out next week. There's some independent candidates that I don't know anything about, to be totally honest. Like, I haven't seen a leaflet from them. I haven't seen anything. I literally don't know 2 or 3, basically. I don't know any of them. So this is the posters too. As you can see, Val Martin's posters there. Majority Fianna Fáil and Fianna Gael ones. And that's the majority actually in the world. The majority of them are Brendan Smith, Niamh Smith, Simon House's photo, T.P. O'Reilly, Pauline Tunney has a few posters. But that's really it. And then Sarah O'Reilly and Cameron Brady. There's no other independent posters really about. So I just want to correct the record. I said the other day there was 21. One person has taken back their nomination. So there's 20 names, which is still the highest ever, just to say. So there was 21, now it's 20, just to say, in the Cavan Mullen constituency. So here they are. Like, I point out to people, so I know, yeah, he's a councillor, Deputy Matter, yeah. I don't know much about Joseph talking independent. I don't know much about him. I've heard of Joseph Duffy. I don't know what he stands for, what anything about him yet. I'm trying to figure out what they're standing for, and if I agree with them, I give them a vote. But I don't know what they're standing for. Except Senator Wobby Gabble, obviously, is a senator. I know about Lester James Gordon, independent. People before profit. I've heard of this one. I know what she's about, etc. Then obviously Val Martin in councillor. This is the fellow who ran for the elections a few times. I know he's on about repealing the 8th Amendment. Wasn't he used to be a Gowd, I think, yeah. I know vaguely about him, not much about him, but I don't know about Shane Mulligan. I'm trying to figure out who this person is. He's for Liberty Ireland. I don't know who he is. I know about Mark Malone. The Green Party, I know I've heard of him before. Obviously, Sarah O'Reilly, Independent Ireland. There's so many names. It's hard. It's going to take 9 hours. Like the video at the moment, just to say, it's going to be a long video. It's going to be literally an hour. At most, nearly 50 to 60 minutes, yeah, around that. We wound that because that's how long it's going to take to get through it all. But I don't know about these independents. See, I'm just trying to. That's what's holding the video up, I suppose, because I don't know what these are standing for. I haven't seen anything really to suggest what they're standing for. If that makes sense, because I need to know what I'm going to say in the video about them. Because I will give them a vote. Take for example, if I agree with some of the stuff they say, I definitely give them a vote, especially an independent person. I'm willing to give an independent person a vote. And then obviously have the TDs. But yeah, the interesting thing about it is, so it's 14 men, 70%, and 6 are women. Was there anything else I was going to say? Yeah, so to go on a bit here about who it is. But still, it doesn't tell you much. Like, it's only vaguely. Like Joseph Duffy, a farmer from Monaghan. It doesn't really tell you much, if that makes any sense. Like, it tells you a bit, but it doesn't go into in detail, if that makes any sense. Like, for example, it doesn't tell you much, basically. But different with Fianna Fáil and Fianna Gael ones, because they have a big manifesto what to do, etc., etc. Like, this is the fellow I'm talking about. I heard of this fellow before. He was in the Defence Force. I heard about him. He's won before. I know about him. There was one thing. Where was the Labour Party here? Oh, not the people before, the Labour Party, yeah. Just to tell you one thing before I go any further. If the Labour Party would show up here. I'm confused. There's that much names and stuff. It's just that much hard to remember. Give me a second just to say to people, it's not here, but the Labour Party, there wasn't the candidate. I thought they would put the candidate that it usually goes as a different candidate. But we'll work it out anyway. I don't think I'd be voting for Labour, but I mentioned it anyway. So, but it's going to be a long ballot. Let's put that way. It's going to be a long ballot anyway. It is going to be a long fucking ballot. Like, you nearly would have to take an hour to go through it all. Sorry, everyone. I missed a good few of your comments. Hello, Gordon. How are you doing? Sorry. I couldn't tell you, Gordon. I wouldn't know the video. Yeah, we probably do. I say Fiona and everyone only knows well. I probably missed some of your comments. You see the way a cat scroll up? It won't let me scroll up for some reason. I don't know why. Don't know why it won't let me do that. Never let me do that for some reason. But yeah. So I just briefly touch on this because I've talked about this before many times. So these are posters for Niamh Smith TD. She's the Fianna Fáil TD at the moment in Cavan Monaghan. and seeking re-election to for Dáil. Now there's been posters, and again the big post 8x4. So these are the posters. So somebody's taken them for whatever reason. I don't know. But again, this happened during the local election, European elections. Posters go missing everywhere. And my advice, even if you don't agree with Fianna Fáil, I don't agree with Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. But still, at the end of the day, it's not right to take anything from anybody. So you're breaking the law by doing that. So I would just, if you don't like it, just ignore it. That's what I do. I don't like the what Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael stand for, but I just ignore the posters. That's what I would say to people. And again, they shouldn't be doing this, and especially to for example, was an independent man that was paying out of his own pocket. You shouldn't be doing it. Just wanted to say that, just because people probably asked me for. Hello, Tony. Good evening. Yeah. No, but it won't let me scroll up for some reason. The way you should be allowing you to scroll up, but it doesn't. So that's why. So that's why I can only see what's there in front of me at the moment. If that makes any sense. So that's the problem I'm having. Which I don't know what's the solution. I think it's just the computer, the way this computer is designed or something. If I had a mouse, I see I could put a mouse to it, but I'd rather just scroll and stuff like that. But yeah, I just want to talk about this because this was released today too. So far in Cavan General Hospital, this is just in Cavan, 1,570 people, so nearly 1,600 people had to wait in trolleys in Cavan so far in 2024. And remember, Andy Kenny said, I end the trolley crisis. So this is just in Cavan. So take, for example, if you add in your other hospitals, Dublin hospitals, good God, you'd probably be looking at 200,000, maybe, in the big counties like Dublin, Cork, take for example, Galway, the big hospitals there. Like, good God, this is just in Cavan. That doesn't count other places. So it's a lot of people. And the year's not even over yet. So this could be 2,000 at the end of the year. Especially coming into the winter. People getting the flu, etc., etc. But still, this is a first world country. This shouldn't be happening. It doesn't make any sense, for sure. And Kenny said he ended the Holly crisis, the trolley crisis, the Holly crisis. But, still haven't gotten any further from that. So. Where am I here, sir? So Sinn Féin's proposing must be the basic disability, so it must be granted to children, etc., etc. They're proposing additional 829 million in the disability sector, which is obviously welcome. But I don't think that suggests where the money's going to come from this. Well, obviously there's money for it, but I think Sinn Féin's just throwing numbers out there. So obviously it'd be welcome if they do get into government, they do put that much money to disabilities. Obviously, I'm not going to say it's not welcome. It is welcome, of course, 100%. I don't think anybody can disagree with that. So yeah, we get into this bread and butter now. There's going to be a lot of it. Let me see. So this is the do with County Monaghan. And there's another important thing I want to just briefly talk about. So in Monaghan, there's an event going on in Monaghan. And in Monaghan, it's supposed to be in all County Monaghan, there's 570 beds, like in hotels and B&Bs or something like that. In Monaghan town particularly. And a lot of them are taken up for, so it's the Pride of Place Awards, in Monaghan. A lot of them are taken up for asylum seekers, etc., etc. So there's a lack of beds for hotels, etc., etc. So there's 570 hotel beds in Monaghan, and there's not that many for 600 guests. So there's a lack of them because a lot of them were taken up from asylum seekers, etc., etc. So a few people probably will have to stay in Cavan and get the bus up to Monaghan for it. So it's really crippling the hotel industry too for tourists. Like, take for example these big events. People want to stay in hotels. They can't get places. Like, these few people, say if there's more than, say, 600 guests, say there's a few more come. Where are they going to stay? Because there's only 570 beds. And then, obviously, the asylum seekers taking up a lot of them. So, but sure, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael don't really care. It seems to be. So this is very important now. If you remember back a few years ago, they wanted to. Now, first of all, this is in Clonus. This used to be a hotel back in the day, the Leonard Arms Hotel. Obviously, it's very run down. Like this is a good picture. Like the last time I was in Clonus, there it's literally a mess. Like there's literally trees growing out of the window, etc., etc. And this used to be. This is literally in the set of Clonus, and it's just led to what. So the plan is for a new museum. I talked about this before, and for one reason, I'm sure you probably remember a lot of people talking about it back in the day, a few years ago. It's about the High Cross. So they're proposing Monaghan County Council, and I still think they are proposing it, that they take the High Cross, uh, like relocate the High Cross into the place. So what I mean by that is they're going to lift the High Cross from the set of Clonus into this building, which is a big building too, but they're going to use this as a museum. Now, at the time and stuff like that, only for me, kind of that time question about it, I found out about all the details about the High Cross because they wouldn't publish it back when they were suggesting. This is before this was drafted, this plan, etc., etc. Because people had loads of concerns about it because they were afraid of them taking away the High Cross and not replacing it, just getting rid of it, putting it somewhere. And obviously, that's not going to happen because they do have a replica. They're talking about getting a replica. So they're going to put a replica in place, and the real High Cross is going to be inside. Now, I do understand it's hundreds and hundreds of years old, and obviously the air is obviously chipping it away a bit. But as long as they do it, because again, my main concern is they will probably get rid of it and put it somewhere that nobody will ever find again. So hopefully they don't do that. But I haven't seen much because the project, the budget for the project's unknown. There's still kind of talk, but a lot of people in Clonus do think this is stupid. To be totally honest, in a way, because a lot of people are saying they don't need a museum. Like who would be probably going to the museum? What kind of benefit would it bring to the town and museum? And I know they're saying it's for tourism, etc., etc. But what kind of benefit would it bring to? Because the majority of people what kind of it opened up as a hotel. That's what they want it back. They want it back to the way it was years ago. But I don't know. But again, it's going to be multi-million euro tourist thing. But I keep an eye on it because again, we have to keep an eye on it particularly. But I presume because again, talking to them back in the day when this was suggested about 4 years ago, I think it was. They will not get rid of it. I'm sure they won't get rid of it because, especially now that it was put out there beforehand, only for me finding out about it, etc., etc. They probably maybe would have done it, but the fact that people in Clonus know about it, etc., etc., they probably won't. But hopefully they don't. Anyway. That's what I hope they don't, because again, it's a historical artifact. But I'm assuming we'll put it into the museum. They are going to make it into a museum. It's going to be put in there. But they were supposed to be main concern for a lot of people was they were going to remove it and never put anything in it. Like, get rid of it and be gone for good. But I keep you updated on, but we'll see. But I will say it's a shame that they're building in the main part of the town like this. They used to be popping back in the day with dances and different things that are turned in, like it's basically dilapidated. A majority of Clonus, unfortunately, is dilapidated, unfortunately, as you can see. This is a good picture of it. Like, nowadays, it's just a mess. Yeah, well, no, I get it. Like, they did tell me, like, I was talking to them in debt at the time, my Monaghan County Council about it. Obviously, it's thousands and thousands of years old, not hundreds of years old. It's thousands, before, like, long, long time there. No, obviously the air is chipping away at it because it is that old. Like it is generally that old. The air is starting to have an effect on it. So they're proposing that it be put on the side where it won't be as damaged. And it does. Statues and stuff do get damaged and stuff over time. But I suppose the concern was to take it away and not put it in. That's what it was. But I keep an eye on it, and I'm sure there'll be big uproar if it does happen. But I keep an eye on it. I'll be talking to somebody in Monaghan County Council soon enough about it. Filling me on with the other details. Because at the time, 4 years ago, I was heavily involved in this, figuring that out, etc., etc. So we work at that. That's what. But I don't think so. Going by the people that time, they were going to put a replica in its place and put the thing in the High Cross in the hotel into the fucking what they got into the building. Excuse me, I couldn't speak there. Creaking and snow today. Yeah, there's no snow here. It was about 1 centimeter, 1 slice of snow. Where's the snow? We want the snow. Now, This is Sinn Féin's manifesto. Sinn Féin didn't have it published for Monday night, but they have it published now. So they're proposing, really, in a way, to raid the rainy day fund. Basically, there's a rainy day fund in Ireland where the government puts money aside for emergencies, etc., etc. Now, and obviously, I think everybody would agree that's a good idea. I'm sure we would all agree on that because we don't know what tomorrow will bring. And there has to be money left aside for something if something bad happened, take for example, a natural disaster, floods, stuff like that. It's important that we have money to allocate if something like that. Because again, we cannot, unfortunately, plan what can happen tomorrow, today, next week. We need to have some spare money left aside for them eventualities. And basically, Sinn Féin proposes taking all that money, really, in a way. It seems to be because they're kind of dillying around it a bit, but it seems to be what they're suggesting, in my opinion. And looking at this, reading through it earlier on, we get into some of it now because I do think it's important because again, it's so-called main opposition party, of course. Just give me a second. So yeah, to win 15 billion in a budget surplus next 5 years. That's what that's the committing to. So we see the majority of this, in my opinion, doesn't work. The majority of the money they're talking about, it doesn't seem to work. Maybe it will work. I don't know. Again, it's a huge amount of money. But particularly about this, the abolishing the local property tax, I don't think they will. Andy Kenny said it before. He wanted to abolish it, and they didn't do it. So I don't believe Sinn Féin on this. This is the one to go. I don't believe they will because it's too embedded into the local authorities nowadays, and it's too endeavoured into the government. So I don't think they will abolish it, unfortunately. I don't think so. I think it's just false promises there. I don't know about the other things because, again, it's a huge amount of money. But they're not saying where they're getting the money from, really, in a way. But I don't believe you, to be totally honest, to be totally honest. And now the next thing is particularly very, very, very worrying. Is this. And I've said about this before. The right to housing in the Constitution. So basically, it's like New York City. You can turn up and get a free house if the right to housing was in, take for example. That's what could happen. So basically, people that just turn up here at the airport get a free house, in a way. Because that's what, because again, they were living very vague. That's what I'm afraid about, the right to housing. Because they're living very vague and everybody gets a house, basically, more or less. Because the legislation won't be, it'd be very, it'd be lines drawn. What I'm trying to say is to be different ways of walking around it, basically. It won't be very direct in what it says. It'd be wishy-washy language, basically, that can't stand up in court, etc., etc. So I don't know. So I don't know about the Help to Buy scheme. I looked at the figures, etc., etc. It does help some people. Again, I say this, I never talked about it before, but it does help some people. A lot of people, it doesn't help, the Help to Buy scheme. It doesn't go far enough. So I don't know. So I wouldn't be the right person to tell you that. And then 100%, build for buildings in the blind, etc., etc. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's still there. The property tax is still here to this day. So I don't think they will change it. Because remember, Andy Kenny said, I get rid of it. Still we're here a few years later and it's still there. So I don't agree. But I think this is the most dangerous one, to be totally honest. I haven't seen Fianna Gael and Fianna Fáil propose this, into the Constitution. Because again, it can be used in 100 million ways. It's the same as the referendums at the beginning of the year. They can be abused in 100 different ways. Because it'd be basically people turning up and get a free house handed to them straight away. And then obviously it won't be tough. It won't be language, very straightforward language. It'll be wishy-washy language that can be abused in 6 million ways. It's the same with enjoyable relationships. That's what they proposed in February. We have an enjoyable relationship. People have enjoyable relationships. If you send them a Christmas card, that's what would have been in the Constitution if they would have done that. And then obviously they take women out of the Constitution too. It was utterly ridiculous. But this is what I'm fearful. Maybe I have no fear over this at all. Maybe I'm just being a conspiracy theorist. But I do think the majority of people kind of see this. It would have been put into the Constitution years ago. If not, I presume a lot of people would say the same, that it could be abused in a million different ways. Particularly Sinn Féin, I wouldn't trust them on it. So I don't know about this prescription charges about medicine and even from the form. I went into the doctor there a few weeks ago to get a medical form, and I had to go in. He wanted to see me, and it only took 3 minutes, and I had to pay €30 for it, like for the form, etc., etc. For literally literally could time me 3 minutes. He only signed the form, asked me two questions that were on the form, and that was it. And paid €30, thank you, for 3 minutes, like quite literally for 3 minutes. It's insane to think about. And then prescription charges. Thankfully, I don't take any medication and stuff, but to be totally honest, they should be abolished long ago. Prescription charges. Um, for medical card holders, yeah, well, it should be for everybody. Prescription charges should be abolished. To be totally honest. So I don't know where they do it. I don't think they will do this one either. I could be wrong, but just going by Sinn Féin's record, I don't know whether the cost of living and stuff like that. Abolish college fees. So they're basically taking Fine Gael's manifesto. This, which I don't think they will. I don't think Fine Gael or Sinn Féin will do it. I don't think they will. I generally don't think they will. Especially Fine Gael. Whatever maybe about Sinn Féin might do it. Word is might. But I don't think I think Fine Gael is just talking out of the ass. And the carbon tax thing, they only kind of put it in last minute because they kind of want to get the only Joes, like the farmers vote, the people that are going to vote for other parties. That's really all it's about. And then it goes on and on. But a lot of it is kind of, I don't think it's doable. A lot of it is not doable, in my opinion. And again, a lot of it's just kind of we're getting the numbers from somewhere. We're getting the money from somewhere. We don't know where it's coming from. But particularly the one with the property tax, I don't think that's ever going to be changed. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing? I agree with you, but I don't think Sinn Féin will do it. I don't think so. Because the problem when it was first established, etc., it's too long established. That's what I'm trying to say. It's too embedded now. And I don't think they will get rid of it. Because, see, the majority of local authorities in Ireland increased the property tax. It was increased in Cavan by 15%. So I don't think they will, because there's a huge money maker for the local authorities. So I don't think they will. I don't think so. I don't think there'd be a huge uproar if they'd done that in the local authorities, etc., etc. But that's what I take. That's what I think. So I don't believe them in that, and particularly as I said with the right to house and too, that can be abused in a million different ways. I'm sure you would agree. It can be abused in a million different ways because it wouldn't be your form, and it wouldn't be telling you straight what the Constitution says. It'd be wishy-washy language, and that's what it would be. Unfortunately, it'd be wishy-washy language, and it can be abused in 9 million different ways. So I wouldn't trust him anyway. I wouldn't trust them anyway. But even just seeing the manifesto, I wouldn't trust them anyway. But again, it's up to you at the end of the day, people. Just to say, it's just my opinion. But a lot of it here is just kind of putting out ideas. I think they're just kind of putting out ideas and seeing what sticks. I don't think they really generally have a plan to be done in a lot of ways. Which in I could be wrong, but the way I'm reading through it, etc., at least they're just kind of throwing darts at the dartboard and hoping something sticks. I don't think they wanted to do it this year. I wasn't involved, but as far as I can get, I don't think they wanted to do it. They wanted to do it next year. I think. I know I'm not 100% sure, but I think somebody said they want to do something next year with it. So I don't know. Because see, last year, not this year, last year, there was a big concert, and obviously it was a huge thing over it. So I think they want to do it next year because they do kind of want to do it again at some stage. I haven't talked about it that much to them and stuff, and I haven't heard much. But for what I have heard, I do think they want to kind of bring it back at some point. But again, when I don't know, because again I'm not involved. I presume they're having the discussions in the council meetings. That's what I've been told by people, etc., etc. Again, I can't really say much more because I don't know much more about it than myself. So that's all I know. There's not going to be much talk about it, like publicly and stuff. That makes sense. But I presume they will put it over because people did enjoy it. They did really, really enjoy it, people, that time. So I presume they will bring it back at some point. I don't know when. Again, if I hear anything, I'll tell you. If I do hear something somewhere. So now, so we chill out for a second. There's a few more things I want to discuss. But to be totally honest, I'm too tired to discuss mandates. The Cavan week, I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't think they'll agree with that one. I don't think so. So we'll just chat among ourselves for a few minutes and then I get into the next few subjects. It's not that much more. Um, anyway. So anyway, let me ask this question. Suppose did you have many canvassers around, like people canvassing for the elections? Because I only had two, as I said in the beginning of the stream. I only had the two Fianna Fáil, not the TDs themselves, the people canvassing on behalf. Did anybody ever see? Did anybody ever have many of them come to the door in your area? Because it seems like they're just they don't want to come around here. It seems to be they just don't want to come around. Because to be totally honest, I probably drew them mad. The people that came around here for Fianna Fáil, I think I did drive them mad. Because I went on about a backwards looking at EU sovereignty and questioning them. So they didn't really want to kind of answer me. So that was the thing. Hello, Little England. How are you doing? Hope well. How many hours does it take to run a navy ship? Not many, but it seems to be too many. Oh, but who spoke to who? Sorry, I missed you. Who Fianna Gael, Fianna Fáil, who was it? Like, did you have many? You as you say, having only leaflets. Yeah, I got a good few. One from me and two. Fianna Gael said one. Nobody else really. Yeah, Sinn Féin, the Shinnels haven't been about. I have no Shinnels around. So I don't know what's happening there. Especially because it's only next week is the election, next Friday, which will be. So they live in the late. Whoever independents and stuff like they live in the late to come around. Because I don't know. Oh, it was straight in the middle. A lot of people throw it straight in the middle of the fire, yeah. But no, just for argument's sake. Because I did argue with the ones with Fianna Fáil. I didn't argue with, I didn't just shout at them down the phone, etc. Oh, no, not down the phone, but shout in the faces, etc. Like, it was a proper debate. But I was asking them about Micheál Martin that time, saying about sovereignty, etc., in the door. And I brought it up on my phone and I showed them to them. Fair to say, they didn't really have much to say. The only thing one of them could say to me is Fianna Fáil proposed to join the European Union and stuff back in the day. We're looking after the next generation of Irish people by keeping them in the European Union. But as I said to them, what good is that when we don't have an identity as sovereignty and our own independence, And didn't really have much to say. So basically, it was like talking to the wall. But I wasn't mean to them, but I had a reasonable discussion with them on different things. But it wasn't themselves. But it wasn't the TDs themselves who was campaigning. So I wouldn't blame them. They were only going around. So I didn't take it out on them. But it was themselves that would have a bit of an argument with them. But, I still asked them questions. Because at the end of the day, they're coming looking for my vote. So then I'm entitled to ask them. And particularly Fianna Fáil, they're in government. They have to be answerable to the public. But the thing is, even my mother's here the majority of the day. And nobody is called when she's here. Like, even though I'm at work the majority of the day, I am at work the majority of the day. Like, they called in the evening time. That's how I got them, because they called in the evening time. But there's nobody during the day. Like, my mother's looking out all day for canvassers, etc., etc. Nobody's around. Nobody. So I don't know. It's weird because, again, usually by this time, I remember the European elections. They wouldn't fucking stop. They were coming all the time. I literally mean the European elections. Fianna Fáil. The same Fianna Fáil ones came around twice to the same house because they forgot what house they were going to. So, they were just running around in circles. But no, you see, so mainly it's only leaflets, you're saying, everybody's saying, that you've got. You haven't seen your TD in person, like at your door, basically, what I'm trying to say. Or your councillors or whoever. Because I haven't seen one of them, to be totally honest. Like, I haven't seen one of them. So, I have to put it straight, I have literally not seen one of them. So, I don't know where they all are. Tried to win the door. Why did you took the doorbell? You went out, you seen them coming, you took the doorbell in. It's like that scene in Flouted Head where the bishops are there, where the bishop was there, Bishop Brenner, and Mrs. Doyle says they're taking the roads in. When he kicked them up the arse. They're taking the roads and you're taking the bell in. You took the bell in. Um, taking the bellin. Oh no! Imagine saying that to TD. I'm only coming out to take the bellin, so you can't wing it. That'd be a funny thing to say. I should do that next time. But that's all I had. So I'm surprised I haven't come across any of the way. See, that's why I'm not making the video in Cavan and Monaghan yet, but who I'm going to vote for, etc. Because I still don't know who some of the independent TDs are. Not independent TDs, independent people that I want to vote. They're not TDs yet. So just to say, Micheál Martin was in Cavan yesterday. Hopefully, I didn't come across him. I will admit, I didn't know he was coming in the first place. He was in Cavan Town, he was in Ballygym stuff. Thankfully, and again, thankfully, I didn't come across him because I would have had a lot to say to him. To be totally honest, I would generally have a lot to say to him about a backwards looking idea of sovereignty. I give him a backwards looking idea of sovereignty because I had asked him very tough questions on it. So long story short, I was in the town, like it was up the town, thankfully. But thankfully, by the time I got down to the area that he was supposed, like in around Dunstow's down Cavan, he was gone because I was up the town. We were sweeping up different things there. And then somebody said he was in Cavan. I didn't know he was in here. It wasn't advertised basically that he was going to be there. So basically all Fianna Fáil knew he was going to be. Only Joe knew he was there. So thankfully I didn't come across him because I drive him mad. But they won away. That's all they would do. Somebody asking the question. He's gone to see the king, not the queen, the king. Well, that's good. Jesus, we have to be careful in London now. Because people are stealing phones in London like there's no business. Like it's insane. This phone's being taken every second of the day, and like in London particularly, it's pretty dangerous. That's the one thing I say because there was a. Well, I don't know about overweight, but I wouldn't probably go over there because it's just too busy. There's too many people in London, 12 million or something like that. Just too many. too many people. It's just too busy. It's too busy. Like Helsinki was fine because there's only 600,000 people in Helsinki. Like imagine going to New York or Paris or London where there's big, huge populations. Like it'd be just too much, basically. too much going on. And particularly London because the amount of tourists and stuff like that'd be insane. So that's why I'd rather go to the Nordic countries, Oslo or Helsinki or stuff like that, where there wouldn't be that many people about. If that makes any sense. Yeah, but who is Shane McGowan? I don't know who he. I know he's for Ben Gilroy's. I don't know who he is, but I've never heard of him in my life. I know about Fal Mountain, obviously Lester Gordon and Mark Malone. I know about them, but I don't know about Shane Mulligan. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know who they are, who he is. I suppose. Or she. I don't know. But definitely, definitely, I say this now. Definitely, Fal Martin, Lester Gordon is going to get a good preference for me. Let's put it that way. Definitely going to get. I've said that now. I say it more in the video when it comes up who will be given number one in this too, etc., etc. But definitely they're going to get a good preference for me. If that makes any sense. And then Mark Maloney too, of course too. Yeah, that's what's happening. It's happening in Dublin, but not to the extent of London. Like in London, it's got fucking serious. Like it's happening all the time in London. Yeah, that's what's happening in Dublin. Two people on scooters and mopeds and bikes and stuff. Just like when you're looking down on your phone. That's why you never see me walking around with my phone in my hand. I always stop. Or like go into a corner when I have my phone out. If I'm in Dublin or any other place. So because the people going around with the phone like in their hand, and then somebody swipes and then off to go. And it's happening, particularly in London. It's serious. Like it's pretty bad in London. It's bad, and it's not that bad yet in Dublin. It's getting there, but it's not bad yet. Yeah, you have to have your wits about you. Yeah, you would have to. Because again, we gone like the wind with that. Like even though some people a lot of people do get the phones back because there's a tracker and stuff like that. But no, that's what I'm just saying. So he just advise your son, and if you know, just to be careful with his phone when he's out and about and stuff like that on the roads, etc., etc. Because there was somebody recording the TikTok video, and because I've seen it on the news, I've seen it on one of the news things on YouTube. Somebody was talking about it, that some TikToker. I know I don't watch TikTok, and so I'm not into the TikToks. Had their phone taken, that they were recording a video on the street. Some fender that were getting food of a fender in some part of Piccadilly. I think it was in Piccadilly Circus, around that area of London. And somebody just came up when they had the video down, like recording. Somebody came by on a bike and took it. And that was the end of it. We're gone. And that was some big TikToker too. I don't know who it was, but it was some TikToker. Like, it was a phone worth a few thousand too. Like, it wasn't a cheap phone. My phone was not that deal, etc., etc. But it was a big, huge, like really expensive phone that this TikToker had, and they never found him. So, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, see, no, see, the problem is at the moment here in Cavan, particularly in this area, there's some independents at the moment. I don't know like who they are. To be sure, I never heard of them in my life. Even though like I'm actively engaged in politics and stuff like that, I'm actively engaged. I know everything nearly that's happening in Cavan. In the majority of cases, some things obviously I don't know. I'm not God. I can't see everything. But there's a lot of stuff that I know, developments, etc., happening, and I never heard of these independents. So I don't know what they're standing for. There's no posters, no leaflets, so I don't know myself. Like you've seen in that article earlier on, I showed it on the Anglo South. It only gives you vaguely like a small bit, but it doesn't tell me enough. Um, but I know about Fan Martin and stuff. Obviously, you get a reference, etc., for me. And Lester Gordon, obviously, Lester Gordon won the last election. Um, yeah, no. He done well, Lester Gordon, the last election. I thought when I was over in Helsinki at the time, I thought he was very likely to get in because he did do very well. He missed out by a few hundred votes. That's what he had with transfers, etc., etc. So he done well. He did do well. Uh, Especially for as people phrased him a dark horse, like he wasn't. He was a newcomer to the stage, I suppose, and he done very well for a first-time candidate. He did do very well, and he nearly bet. He nearly would have took a seat off a sitting councillor in that area too. So they were shaking in the boots in a way. No, he's from Ballygym stuff up that direction. I don't think so. I don't think so. But no, he's up in Ballygym stuff direction. But he done well in the local town. Like, he generally did do well. I thought he was going to get in. Like, again, he only lost with the skin of his teeth. And especially for a first-time candidate, he did very, very well. So he's going to do probably pretty well again in the election here. Might not do as well as the local. We'll see how it goes, because, again, he might get a lot of votes in his area, but he still needs other areas to vote from too. See, this is the thing I said, but even Phil Martin said about it. There's a lot of people in Fine Gael that's not really fond of Karma Brady, etc., etc. Like with Heather Humphreys, in fairness, that I often went to Heather Humphreys about stuff too, in relation to some people's pensions, etc., etc. Take for example my father's pension too, about the Heather Humphreys, well, because she was the Minister for Social Protection. And again, in fairness, we were sorted out within a few days. Like any time I rang Heather Humphreys' office, it was sorted out. Everything that I rang, it was sorted out within a few days. Like, in fairness, she did own her votes in terms of that, because every time I did ring about somebody, it was sorted out. And a lot of people won't have that loyalty to the other Fine Gael candidates, because I'm not that fond of that Karma Brady one, to be totally honest. I'm not that fond of her. Don't know about the TP O'Reilly. I have not much to say about TP O'Reilly. But take, for example, Heather Humphreys, she owned her vote, I suppose, in a way, in that terms. Because if you rang her about, take, for example, something to do with social welfare or something to do with pensions or something to do with sick pay, it'd be sorted. So a lot of them people that rang, take, for example, my father too, would have probably give Heather Humphreys not the first preference now. She would probably give her a second preference, give her a high enough preference, because again, she did look out for him and for other people like it. So she would get a good preference for people. So without her there now, that Fine Gael vote, because again she wasn't going to lose her seat. Let's put it that way. Heather Humphreys was going to keep her seat. She didn't have to retire. She was a safe seat. It was one of the most safest Fine Gael seats in the country. And now that's gone. So it's really up in the air. But the thing is at the moment, this is the thing. Just listen to this for a second. People in Cavan particularly. Uh, what's likely to happen, and again, majority of people predicting this, that Sarah O'Reilly, the N2 candidate, will take that seat of Fine Gael. That's what it seems to be at the moment. So, because the two Fine Gael candidates are not as liked as well ahead of Humphreys. That's what I mean. They're trying to say they'll probably do well. TP O'Reilly probably will do well out of the whole lot of them, but they're not as well liked as Head of Humphreys was. You know, like Head of Humphreys did very well. She used to get 10,000, 11,000, huge amount of votes, forced from votes, etc., etc. But they won't get that, and I can predict that. And I do think Council Sarah O'Reilly into will probably take their seat because of it. If Heather Humphreys was gone, she would have won the seat. But I do think Council Sarah O'Reilly will take the probably seat. To be honest, I do think that myself. It does look likely, because I know Fine Gael voters myself that have pro Fine Gael. They never voted any other party in their life. Even they are kind of like, we don't really like the other candidates, because Heather Humphreys was a farmer too. She has a farm in Monaghan. Like, she used to be milking the cows, etc., etc. So the farmers, and again, Fine Gael being the Farmers' Party, known as the Farmers' Party, really. A lot of them would, be hesitant to vote for TB O'Reilly and Calma Brady, particularly Calma Brady. A lot of them are rubbed the wrong way with Calma Brady. A lot of people are not that fond of her at the moment. And myself, I don't know why, but I'm not that. I wouldn't vote for her, even if she paid me to answer. I'm just not. It's something about her I don't really like. I don't know. It's something telling me that's not the best choice for anybody. Yeah, see, that's what's happened the moment you were saying to the woman for 6 weeks living in a cow. See, the problem is in a lot of local authorities at the moment, and the sad thing is, when you present yourself homeless, etc., say, for example, in Cavan at the moment, there's nowhere to put people. So if you present yourself so homeless now to Cavan County Council now in the morning, there's nowhere to put people. So they don't really want to deal with you, really, in a way. Because they'll have to pay for hotel room and stuff like that. That's what they're doing at the moment. So they don't really want to deal with it. That's to be totally honest. Which is a sad thing. It shouldn't be happening, but there's no place for anybody. That's what there's no other emergency. All the emergency accommodation in Cavan's been used, like in terms of hotels and stuff like that for people that are homeless, etc., etc. But I don't know the case in Cork, because obviously Cork would have more resources than the County Cavan. So there should be some kind of resource if it's Cork City Council, etc. Because obviously, the bigger the county, the more resources, the more of a population you have, the bigger the resources. Cavan's barely breaking even in terms of resources. Take, for example, the roads were barely breaking even in terms of the money the government's given to the local authority, etc., etc. Cavan's not the most wealthiest local authority. It makes any sense, but still a lot of money goes into it. There. Is she a spy? I don't know about that now, but no, I presume she's talking because Heather Humphreys, before she became a TD, was in the what they got in the what they call I can't think of it. The credit union. She used to work in the credit union in Cotil. So Carmen Brady's from Cotil there in County Cavan. So I presume that's what she's talking about. That she knew her in Cotil and she used to tell all the gossip from Cotil. I presume that's what she's talking about. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you, Fallon. I hope I'm saying your name right, but I wouldn't blame you. I think everybody's just sick of it. I having to try and process. Like, I have to watch OTE for the debates and stuff like that. And generally, to be totally honest, you lose the mind listening to it, and especially because I have to literally look at everything on social media, except in relation to the elections to talk about here. It drives you. It generally drives you mental. It just drives me mental. So to be totally, I wouldn't blame you. To be totally honest. The only reason why I have to listen to it because because I need to know. So that's what's driving me demented. Listening to it. I don't know much about it. I don't know much about the people before Profit Ken. I know who she is. I've seen her before somewhere, but I don't know. To be totally honest. I haven't really come across her, like, in terms of policy. What, like, she hasn't. There's no leaflet or anything to say what she's talking about doing, etc., etc. Um, oh, was he on? Yeah, he was on. But I don't know what's happening. Nobody knows what's happening yet with the hotel in Cotil. Take for example, nobody knows. I don't know what they're going to do because there's too much. I think the problem is at the moment, and what was said, there's too much opposition, and regardless of what they do, there's going to be an uproar. So it's just basically lying there. There's nobody in it, as far as I can get. There's nobody in it. Now it's done up and all that, but it's too much. I think there's just far too much opposition. They're not going to do it, or they're waiting for a good while to do it before they do it. So we should see. We see what happens. Uh, but there's not been much talk about it. Back a year ago or so, it was everywhere in Cavan. Everybody was talking about it. Not so much now. So seems like you know it's gone quiet a bit. So I don't know what's happening myself with it. But I haven't been told anything. Like I know some people in Cotillo and stuff that were telling me every day about different things. So it's happening. Like I was regularly informed on what was going on in Cotillo back when that was all that was going on. But not really much. Not really been much done because nobody's told me really anything about what's happening. Um, but take for example, a lot of people in Cotillo too be very upset about Carmen Brady because she didn't really take the side of the people in that. She basically sided with the state in that terms. So a lot of people in Cotillo wouldn't be that fond of her too, I suppose, in that way. But she did still a council, I suppose. Yeah, I seen it in the Heavens tax. I have a video talking with the farm and things. Yeah. Well, they'll probably not get off with us. You see the amount of protesters in Westminster. They'll probably not get off with it, unfortunately. So they won't get their way, I don't think. And that's the right way to be doing it. Yeah, like I'm watching OT now, but not all night, off every night now, but the debates and stuff like that, just to hear what's being said. That's what I'm saying. And I'm going mental listening. Like, that's just so I know what I'm saying, because it'd be different me coming on here and saying, you saying, take for example, Fine Gael said this, and I'd be like, I didn't know that, So, at least I'd be able to say something that Fine Gael said this, or Sinn Féin said that, and this person said this, and that person said that. I need to know what they're saying. So I can, and then even if they come around, take for example, say if Sinn Féin now comes around in the morning, I'd be able to point to this and say, now explain this in the property tax. How are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? How do we know? Can we trust you to do it? Like the only Joe wouldn't know about that, basically, if that makes any sense. If that makes sense, put back on these music. Yeah, who's left standing? Pretty much. It's because then you have to remember there's transfers and stuff like that in Ireland. Like the way it works in Finland is very different. Like even just look at the European election stuff when I was in Finland, because I was in Finland at the time the European election happened over in Finland. It's ever who gets the highest votes, really. In a way, there's no really thing as transfers. And the same if like say for example, remember the Finnish Parliament now in the morning was signed, it'd be the TD under them. There's no by-election. It's the TD under them that gets elected, automatically elected. So say for example, I was running it for the Dáil now in the morning, and I just missed out within a few hundred votes of the election. I came just behind the fifth person that got the seat to Dáil, take for example. In Finland, if that person was signed because it's up and or whatever, I would get that seat. I suppose there's different ways different countries do it. And it kind of goes on who gets the most votes. That's the way it kind of goes. Like first come, first off, basically. Did I loan finish? No. It's like try and loan finish. Like it's insane. Like you should see some of the when I was in the Finnish Parliament, we got leaflets and stuff saying the members, MPs and stuff like that. Like there's names literally like second names. They literally have 13 or 14 syllables in it. Like, the way my last name's Nogan. There's ones that have 14, 15, 16, some 20. They literally like letters in their name. Like it's insane. You literally have the whole page gone. Like it's insane. Some of the Finnish language, etc. So like it's very difficult. It's more difficult than any other language in Europe to be told. Like it is really, really complicated. Like it is generally very, very complicated. Because it's very different compared to the other languages. But the good thing about it, a lot of people spoke English. Only for that, I would have been gone. Like it is very, very difficult. Like it's known as one very difficult language to learn. I would like to learn some of it, but it's insane. But I can tell you one Finnish thing is Kiitos is thank you, and moi is hello, basically in Finnish. I can tell you a few Finnish course words and stuff like that I learned when I was a book. But apart from that, not really much else. We don't know. Like it's insane. Some of the words, like just look it up. It's crazy. So like for basic stuff, uh, like there's huge amount of memes over them, etc., etc. Like just basic stuff. In every other language is simple, and then you're finished and then it's gone. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go anyway because I would go. It's a great experience. Finland's a nice country to go. It's a safe country. Like you wouldn't have to worry about being attacked, and it's a very safe country. Uh, and it's good. It's a nice country, but it is very expensive. That's what I say to you. If you're going to go to Finland, you need a couple of thousand. And I literally mean a couple of thousand left over, like left aside for it. It's not something that you would go on with €10, with €20, €10. Like you'd be paying big, heavy money to get it around Finland, basically. Like it is a very expensive country. That's because they have to pay for all the social services, etc., etc. The money's going to different places. That makes sense. Taxes are high, etc., etc. But that's the only country in the world I've been to and stuff like that. But and I'll be again. I'm going back again. So that's great. So you see me soon enough. Not when I mean by soon enough, not within the next few months anyway. But soon enough, you see me back then. Yeah, I've watched the debate. Yeah, I watched the debate. I watched the whole lot of it. I even have a video up the other night about it. If I could speak, yeah, oh, go and Gordon, no bother. Thank you, Gordon, thank you. Did you see? No, and I went during the summertime. I'm just gone there. It's more in the winter time. You see them now in Lapland. I wasn't in Lapland. I was in Helsinki. I didn't go to any other part of Finland. I'm going to be going to other parts of Finland now when I go back. I was only in Helsinki. I had different things I had to go to and stuff like that. Yeah, well, Finnish people they still go to the sauna and stuff like that naked and stuff like that. And they do swim naked and stuff like that. So obviously they don't just do it in public and private events and stuff like that. They do that. In the majority of the saunas too, I wasn't in saunas because it's just too hot. They do it. Like they do be going naked into it and stuff. Uh, it's kind of a custom and stuff like that in Finland. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I thought about it one for the last time. The only reason why I didn't want, because I thought Sinn Féin would do very well. They didn't do as well as I thought they would do, and not even that too. You know, I wasn't. I suppose in the right frame of mind. I have a whole video talking about it, but wasn't in the best. I don't think it was in the best frame of mind to it. Yeah, of course, I'm against any white-minded person should be against it. Like it's just really pushing it on people like fisting, etc., etc. Norma Foley wants to teach children how to fist, etc., etc. And excuse me for the vulgar language, but that's literally what she wants to do. And the Victorian Department of Education, etc., etc. It's over the top. It's very, very over the top. They have to be taught the B's and E's, of course. But what they're trying to do is borderline paedophilia. In my humble opinion, it is. And that's just my opinion. Again, you're entitled to believe whatever you believe, but in my opinion, that's what I believe, and it shouldn't be. And it's too to be totally honest, just to please the wokeness. In other words, in the schools, that's more or less what it is. So of course, I'm against. I think any right-minded person, like every parent that I know who has a child, etc., in school, has said they're not that pleased about it. They're not that happy about it. You know, I think every parent in the country is unanimous with that. That they don't agree with it. In terms of what they're trying to teach in SPHE, etc., etc. Um, yeah, but for only Irish Joe, it wouldn't it wouldn't be good. And but see, they go into the sauna, they go into the water first, and then they go into the sauna. They go into the ice cold water of the Baltic Sea, etc., etc. Another part of Finland too, with us, etc. Does a trip to particular events? No, not particular events. Have different things. I have to go. I have to go to a few things. Yes, but nothing like events or anything like that. Nothing really. Obviously, I'm meeting with the people I knew over there that I got to know, etc., etc., and the Social Democrats. But nothing too much. Oh, see you later, Van. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I talk to you again. Thank you for being here. But that's about it. Nothing really particular. If you get me. Who, me? Are you talking about me voting for Sinn Féin? No, I'm not voting for Sinn Féin. No, I didn't. Oh, hello. I thought you were a pal. No, I didn't. I didn't take it back in the day. No. Um, where was it? Sorry, I forget what it was. Yeah, no, I'm not voting for Sinn Féin. Don't think I'm voting for Sinn Féin. Just go back to that. Did somebody say they were voting for Sinn Féin? Well, if you want to, again, as I say to people, if you wish to vote, it's entitled. It's up to you. Uh, it's up to people to decide themselves. I could say don't do this or don't do that, do the other. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. It's up to the person themselves what they think. Because that's democracy. And you can't dictate to people who to vote for what to do. Yeah, we can't speak much about it because YouTube will shoot us. You get what I'm saying. What? Yeah, we're not going there, Daisy too. But no, because that's when homophobia generally what. I'm sure you've seen the SPHE documentary with that teacher. Uh, did I say? Don't worry about that. I'm not voting for- As I just pointed out earlier on about the property tax and stuff like that. I have many other issues with Sinn Féin. Back in the day, I used to. I used to vote. We're not vote for Sinn Féin, but I used to support Sinn Féin. But I'm not doing now. Don't worry about that. Unless they change their tunes up and feels. Yeah. Um, so don't take a word before Sinn Féin. I won't be doing that. Won't be doing that unless they offer me trillions of euro. That's the only way I'm going to vote for them. Like trillions, I literally mean 4 trillion euro. If they give me that, I might vote for them. But no, I not be voting Sinn Féin on it. Hides in the corner, yeah. Well, a lot of people did vote for Pauline Tully and Matt Cowley and stuff back in the last election because a lot of people just kind of sick of it all and just voted for Sinn Féin. Because Sinn Féin was kind of back then, and for a lot of people in Cavan and Monaghan, that was really it. There was nobody really else to vote for. Um, like the problem in Cavan, at least now you have different parties. For the Irish Freedom Party, then you have the National Party, then you have other parties, Liberty Islands of Independence. Back in 2020, there wasn't that much. There was only Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, and Sinn Féin, and the Labour Party, and that was it. People before profit. There was a Green Party vote too. That was about it. There wasn't that many options, in other counties to have Social Democrats, people before profit, the Labour Party, this party, the other party, that other party, the Independent here, Independent there. In Cavan, it's always kind of been a small number of people. You've basically been limited on who you could vote for. Yeah, but there's a change. There's a change in the wind now. A lot of people are very annoyed with Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. Particularly farmers, as I said, with Fine Gael, they're very annoyed with Fine Gael. And a lot of people are very annoyed with Fianna Fáil too. As you see yourself, there's a lot of councils, etc., quitting Fianna Fáil. And that's causing problems for them too. And then obviously people are not very happy with Fianna Fáil in general too. So no, there's a change in the wind, but I don't know how substantial of a change it's going to be. But they're definitely going to lose a lot of support in a lot of areas. But I don't know how bad. You see, I don't know. In Cavan Mon, it's kind of a toy cost. But particularly Fine Gael, that's where they could do very bad. Fine Gael probably do pretty bad in Cavan. Not so much Fianna Fáil. I'd say Fianna Fáil maybe be all right. A bit. Not much, but by a bit anyway. So that's going to be the issue, I think, there. Um, anyway, we'll be here for another few minutes anyway. We'll go on to 8:30. Is there anything else important to what to bring up? Just give me a second. So I'm just trying to think back. Because, see, there's a lot of stuff going on. But if we were going to talk about everything, literally, that every candidate said, this candidate said that, the other candidate said this, we said this, the other fellow said that, the other thing, I would be demented. Like, they're not going to lie to you. In the nicest possible terms, I would be demented to listen to that. Because it's just too much to try anything. Sorry about this. Apologies. No, we can just chat among ourselves. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And it's only going to get worse. Like coming into next week, you try and stick with me next week because I'm going to be demented. Because it's just too much to try and comprehend and all this is too much. It's a bit too much to try and remember. And then obviously, there's people who ask me literally to do all the constituencies. You know the way I'm talking about doing the Cavan Monaghan video where I discuss each candidate, etc., etc. Like, imagine me trying to do all the constituencies. Somebody suggested I should do all the constituencies. Like, I genuinely would be demented because having to talk about each and every candidate. There's something like 600 candidates, 700 candidates. I think it's 700 or 800, yeah, isn't it? 700 or 800. You know, his favorites, yeah, of course, Brian. Yeah, we need a song like that at the top of the charts. So we need that. That's the best songs that sliced bread. Uh, um, uh, hello, Howson. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, as I said earlier on, he shouldn't be going. Like, it is pretty savage. I'm sure you've seen the injuries in the post. It's pretty savage. And the video, too. It's pretty savage. Beforehand, we didn't know. We didn't see the video. It's only after coming out now within the last week. It is a pretty savage thing. I'm sure you would agree, especially for the party of law and order. If I said to you now without knowing he's a candidate for the party of so-called law and order, you'd be like to yourself, that's not really law and order battling somebody, uh, like that. Um, you know, yeah. See, the problem is SB9. Uh, the problem is a lot of people just listen too much. Well, not so much maybe now. Years ago, back 10 years ago, let's say, the only voice was the mainstream media, and a lot of people were brought up just listening to the mainstream media. Nowadays, there's independent voices, and people are able to think for themselves. So that makes any sense. Back 10 years ago, social media wasn't that big of a thing, and the only news you could get was either the newspaper or the telly. Uh, and a lot of people didn't hear different opinions. Nowadays, people are questioning things and stuff, which is great. It's because years ago you were told, this is the way it is. That's that. You're not allowed to question this and that. But nowadays you actively see people questioning stuff, and bringing up stuff, which is great. So there's a big change compared to 10 years ago. That makes any sense. Jesus, you're talking about doing the dinner. Jesus, Chef Tony. Huh? Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because only for the social media and stuff like that. That's why people are getting different opinions, etc., etc. There's different things. If you had to rely on OT, etc., etc., you would be. Yeah, I'm sure you know yourself. Like, I have to listen to OT at the moment because of the election, just so I know what I'm talking about here. Like, I'm demented to listen to it. And that's to be totally honest with you. And I'm only after listening to it last week. So imagine what it'll be like in 2 weeks' time when the election's all said and done. Yeah, like, I would generally think about it, and I would say to any of your family and anything like that. I don't want to tell you how the thing go or how to vote, etc. But I would think about it because it's pretty serious thing he done, and you see the injuries. It's not like a small push or anything. That it was a huge assault, and he shouldn't be one. And they should have took him out of it now because it's a pretty disgraceful thing to have a candidate like that. And then you see the photo. I'm sure you've seen the photo on my community tab. They have a big poster up in some part of Dundalk saying "Vote in TD for Dundalk." Um, in my opinion, if I was in Dundalk, I wouldn't vote for him. I wouldn't vote for him again anyway, but I wouldn't vote for him, especially because of that reason. Because it's pretty serious. And the fact that Simon Harris is backing him to the hilt too, the Taoiseach is literally backing him to the hilt. That's the thing. Like, literally to the hilt. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Only for social media again. The only voice would be the mainstream media, very much. Never mind. Um, I believe it. Yeah, but a lot of older people too. Uh, I kind of question a few things nowadays. I suppose too. It's not as bad as it used to be. Like people, older people, particularly, were obsessed with OT and believed everything they said. Nowadays, I do think a lot of older people are questioning stuff. Um, particularly many different reasons. Particularly when it comes to immigration, a lot of elderly people are very vocal about it. In Cavan, there's a good few elderly people that are very vocal about it. Like they are very, very vocal. They're more vocal than me or anybody else. Like they are generally very vocal. Uh, like a lot of elderly people. So a lot of people are not listening to OT and buying OTs nowadays because they see it on the street, etc., etc. Well, that's well, free speech maybe in this country is out the window, but not so much everywhere. Like not so much on social media stuff that. Uh, it all depends where in this hate speech bill, I suppose. Then things might be out the window if that gets passed. But uh, I still think to be, I still do think to be pushed back, and if they do it, but I suppose we have to wait and see. But see, that's another thing too we haven't really talked about. If the hate speech bill does pass, etc., etc., we're in a bit of trouble. I've only seen a feeling for. No, well, there's been a good bit of canvassing now in the town, Cavan town, now. Not so much in the countryside. Um, I only had Fianna Fáil, yeah, two Fianna Fáil, like not themselves, not the Celt CDs themselves, the people going around for them, and that was about it. Um, or did somebody delete your message by a no? Oh, you retracted it. No, I was making sure. I thought the moderator deleted it. I deleted it. Did you delete it? Or the moderator deleted it? Because I just seen that I was too busy talking. Um, I don't think is there any mods here. I don't think they are here, so I don't think they deleted it. Um, oh, that's okay. No, I thought the moderator deleted it. That's okay. Sorry about that. No, that's 100%. No, I just thought I just seen it the same with track. I didn't know that the moderator deleted it or something. That's 100%. No, that's okay. Um, because there was one time before one of my moderators by mistake, like just banned somebody by mistake. They clicked on the wrong button and they banned somebody by mistake, which was just a general mistake. Like oftentimes, I like scrolling over things. I often by mistake nearly hit ban buttons. Um, like it's the same with replying to a lot of comments on YouTube. I oftentimes by mistake nearly hit the button to like to ban somebody, and I don't mean to do it. Like because when you click onto the app and stuff, like when you're trying to reply or trying to edit your comment, sometimes you could end up clicking it. But there was one time I was nearly close to banning somebody by mistake because I was trying to get my comment to edit, and I clicked and they were like, lack of free speech. Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying. I generally like 100. Like, there's not many people that's banned on this channel. Now. There isn't that many. No, I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. The only time people really get banned here is the extremely, you know, dangerous or something. Well, not extremely dangerous, but if they say I'm going to kill your family and stuff like that. Like there was somebody on one of my recent videos that I did delete their comment. I didn't ban them, but I did delete their comment because they were arguing with somebody in the comment of one of my videos. And they generally said because they didn't get it their way. It wasn't me, it was somebody else. But they said they're going to kill their family. Like that's what they literally because they didn't get their way, so they were like, I'm going to kill you and your family. And I was like, whoa. Like the fellow was only disagreeing with you on like he would in politics, and you were like, I'm not getting my way, I'm going to kill everyone is. Like, that's the only time I deleted the comment recently. Because that's literally inciting violence. Like something like that will be banned, if that makes any sense. Just based that because you shouldn't go around threatening people. But if you look at my band, like in the channel over the last few years, the majority of people who are banned were bots and stuff like that. That's what it was. It wasn't people like the majority of people that were banned. I think there's only about 78 accounts that ever got banned in this channel. Like you have to do something pretty bad to get banned with. I mean, so, if that makes any sense, I'm sure you would agree. There's some people that will cross the line on different things. Like I always try and be reasonable with people. That's always what I try and do. And I think I am reasonable. I'm sure people would agree. I think I'm trying to be as reasonable as possible. Yeah, I went to during COVID and stuff. I went to an anti-lockdown protest. Well, not during COVID. It was sometime in between COVID and stuff like that. Like there's not that many protests around Cavan. Like there's not that many at all. It's not that big of a thing around here. Yeah, well, thank you, Hannah. I always try and be. You always see me in the comments if somebody's arguing with me or saying about their opinion. Like there was one person called me a rat today on YouTube for just having an opinion. Um, you know, I didn't even, he's entitled to his opinion, but it's insane when you think of it. Sorry, I'm missing a few. Hello, I can't even not even pronounce that. Sorry again, I'm dyslexic just to say to people. So if I'm reading things wrong or pronounce the name wrong, that's the reason why. Are you from Cavan? Yes, I am from Cavan. I'm from County Cavan. Yeah, from Cavan now, so yeah. You're in Cavan now, so yeah. As they say. We hide the dinner under the drawers. See, I shouldn't be bending over like this because it's not that good for your back. There's a war option. Yeah, we don't want the war option, thank you. But it seems like the how better than war now. But again, the thing about war is everybody, like the only Joe, you and me suffer, and the rich people get richer, and that's the simple stat. It's not the only Joe. Sorry, give me that. Whatever one, I probably will. We see in the future. Never say never, but we see. Um, I need to just fact check something. When I'm just replying to a comment on YouTube there. I was just seeing it. Yeah, that's. Sorry, give me a second. Just replying to this. Sorry, I should probably be doing it now, but I'd like to reply to people that um yeah that replied like replied with it because he's just generally asking the question about something, and I kind of want to give him an answer, So that's what I'm trying to. So I'm trying to multitask, but I still can answer. Means to an end, yeah. No, because there's no benefit like wars, etc., etc. Oh, I haven't been keeping up to date with the. I know that case is going on. I don't know what's happening with it. I suppose we wait and see what the verdict is. Excuse me, sorry. Um, but I don't know what's happened at the moment. To be totally honest with you. Give me a second. Just so this person's asking me for this. Sorry, no, because I'd like to when I see the comment, I'd like to respond to it because eventually, I want to try and respond to people. I want to be fair with people, like respond straight away as soon as I can. And especially because this person's asking for a thing that he wants that your information on this. So I just kind of give it to him when I'm here now. Yeah, I know he was on with he was literally responding to me there a few minutes ago. But I just responded because he just wanted to know. He was asking me about. He was saying about planning permission. I put up a video there a while ago before I went live, and he was saying you don't need planning permission for a mobile home. But no, just to say, if he is here, maybe he's here at the moment. I don't know. Maybe he didn't respond, but I just replied to his message in it. But that's what I'm talking about because I just had to fact check it just to make sure. Like this, I talked about this before. Like this poor family is going to be affected for kicked out of their back garden because they didn't get planning permission for a mobile home. Because it is a mobile home. So he was just saying that they didn't need plan permission for a mobile phone. In car, yeah. Yeah, we all hide everything under the drawers. But no, that's what he was asking if he's here. I just said to him that just to say. Because no, the planning laws are a bit vague, and him himself, and I'm sure even the majority of councils or scratching their heads, me included. Because technically, in terms of the planning laws, he's arguing, and he's right, I suppose, in saying that it does have wheels. His mobile home has wheels. It's not a structure. It's something that can be moved. It's not a structure building. Uh, so again, I'm not the best person on the planning laws, but it can move. The mobile home can move, so it's not a structure. In terms of the planning laws, it says it's a structure, which is wrong in a way. It's just it's a lot of just bureaucracy, in my opinion. Just give me. I'm replying to somebody else now on YouTube. No, just give me a second. I'll reply to him in a second. What was this? I'm writing to Trump got a lot of young men to vote. Yeah, he got a lot of young men. He got a lot of people who are African American and Latino and stuff like that to vote for him too. So he got a lot of people from every part of the better. Hello, CI. CI. Frederick, came across you recently. Fair play for speaking up and being vocal. Etc. Said lay off the cause. Yeah, see, the reason why there's just so many videos, etc. And I apologize for this myself. It's just there's so much to talk about. There's generally so much to talk about before the election. That's the only reason why before that there was a video every week or twice a week. There wasn't much, but all of a sudden now with the election, though, there's 100 million things I have to bring up to make the public aware. That's what I'm trying to say. Because if I done one whole big video talking about everything under the sun, people wouldn't. It's better to make one video addressing one subject and then move on to another video addressing the other subject. Because it's better in that terms because people get that information instead of a big long video, 6 or 7 hours, say, for example, where literally people, there's hundreds of millions of information just been thrown at people. It's better to make separate videos. So I do apologize over the spam, I suppose, of it too. But it's, you have to kind of get out to something before the election, just so as much information as possible gets out to the only Joe, the person voting in the election. But thank you so much for coming across this channel and subscribing. Thank you. But I always do try and be vocal as much as possible. Even just before the election, I was vocal about things. I always did my best to be as vocal as possible. And again, the one thing I always say, I always try and be reasonable. And that's the one thing I was trying to say, be reasonable, with people. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, you're wrong because, this, that, At the end of the day, people have their opinions to have their opinions, I just respond to this comment I'm here now. See, there's that many comments. Sorry. But you're very welcome, CI. Sorry, I meant to say you're very welcome to the channel. And thank you so much for being here. See, the worst thing, just to say, is people who comment and stuff like on videos. Like, I would love to go into huge, like, there's people commenting and stuff like that, like huge articles, etc., etc. The worst thing for me is dyslexia, like commenting on things and titles of videos. Like, I can talk here, like, I'm able to talk, as you see here. I'm well able to do that, but I'm not able to write a big scripture. If that makes any sense. So that's what I rather talk than say, write up big articles. If that makes any sense, I agree with you 100%. Um, so I'm thinking inside my head now. I'm thinking not outside my head, inside me, whatever you would call it. I, oh, keep my. Um, um, See, I'm just trying to see. It's so difficult to try and get a structure. That's not like if we're playing here. I have to take things. You probably can see how I'm playing and stuff like that. Like every word, I have to take what I'm saying. Um, yeah, sorry about that. I watched the video of Joe Rogan and with Donald Trump and saw him in a green light. Oh yeah, Joe. Yeah, a lot of people. I don't watch Joe Rogan myself. I know a lot of people do. It wouldn't be my thing. I haven't come. Yeah, he's on. I often see stuff on Twitter. I don't watch him. Like I know he does a few YouTube videos. Uh, Not really. I don't watch him, but I often see his tweets on YouTube, like on Twitter. Sorry, on YouTube. Sorry. Um, Hello, Paul. I remember you from the comments. Yeah, you were commenting on one of my videos recently. How are you? How are you doing? Is there any like the? You mean the Argentinian person like him? Not really. I wouldn't say so. Not really. There's an Irish version of it that I know of. Um, no, I wouldn't really say so. Nobody comes to mind that we pretty much like him. Not really. I could be wrong in saying that, but not really when I think of it. Um, no, I don't know. You could argue with a few people. There's a few names I could name, but I don't know really. I don't think you would call them that. Um, not really. I don't think. I'm not too sure. If there's people here that probably have suggestions to say, but you're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Um, uh, no, I live the way it is. So yeah. Um, I don't know if there's anybody have any suggestions there now. See. But yeah, sorry, but I know it's responding to the comments and stuff like that on the YouTube videos, etc. That's all. So you have to try and multitask on YouTube, and I don't know how people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers do it because it's very difficult to do do this and then do that, But yeah. Yo, Yusuf, how you doing? Must you vote for Joe? Well, he's not in my constituency. Actually, probably do well enough because I do think the majority of people in his constituency, it's a poor enough area, the north of the city. A lot of people do feel left behind by the mainstream politicians. So he probably will do well enough in his area. Uh, Now, I don't know. Again, I suppose the way the law is nowadays, anybody could win, and the majority of people in the door are criminals anyway, so it doesn't it doesn't really make any difference. The majority of them should be in prison. I don't answer. To be totally honest with you, like Leo, like when Leo Falco's not seeking re-election, but a lot of the other ones should be probably there too. Um, I seen I seen clips of that on Twitter. I didn't really watch it, but I seen clips of it. Uh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he could do well enough. Uh, has a book out. Everybody has a book out. Like, literally, everybody's put the books out. There's more books out by people that is insane. Everybody just put books out nowadays. It's all the books. Like that just seems like the thing nowadays people do. Like as soon as anybody leaves office is now any political office, any social media influencer, etc., they just put out a book. That's all they do nowadays. It's insane. Like you never see me put out a book. That's interesting because I have to write it, and that's going to be the difficult part. Because it'd be like double Dutch. Nobody uses the phrase double Dutch nowadays. We should bring back the double Dutch. Just give me a second. Apologies, sorry. Yeah, no, talk among yourselves. Yeah, geez, that's what I'm not going to give out to you for talking among yourselves. As long as you don't say I'm going to beat each other, I'm going to beat up this fella because I don't like his opinion. As long as you don't go around doing that, then he's mine. Because like generally in the comment I was just talking about earlier on, I was talking about that comment that I had to delete. Like the person was arguing, like the person that he was arguing with, like was being reasonable enough. Like he was saying, "I believe this because of this, that, you know." And then the fellow comes along because he didn't get his way, and he said, "I'm going to kill you and your family." Like like whoa, you know, like just calm down a bit, Like we didn't ban him, but we deleted his comment because again, it's not nice to go around threatening people to kill the whole family just because they disagree with on policy. Like it's quite insane. Some people just go like calm down a bit. As long as you don't do that, you're okay. Um, there was a few more things for me to show. Was um, what was it? Yeah, there was something else. Yeah. Um, everybody's gone very quiet now. It must be because I'm 10 giving out to people. Um, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me, of course. Just to say to people, don't be afraid to ask any questions. If anybody's new here, and don't be afraid. I'm not going to give out to you, and you're entitled to ask questions. Hello, Lita. How you doing? I hope I pronounced your name. Hope you're well. Oh no, sure. No, not show this tonight. Show it another night. So it's fine. We'll probably go at 9 o'clock anyway. Sorry, I'm just tricking about. Doing a lot of tricking. Doing the tricking. My system, no, it's not my system. No. Like I do have I have a stepsister. I do have a stepsister, but she's in Australia. She's there probably. I never met her in my life. She's there long before I was born. Like, that not the one here, but another like you get. But yeah, she was in one time here back a good while ago. The clan, no, yeah. Are you talking to me? I'm not hitting on any women. Don't worry about that. I'm not hitting on any women at all. Um, See, I couldn't do it because the reason why I couldn't hit on women or into that because the woman behind me get me, and we don't want that. We don't want the Tony Blair Institute coming after me. We couldn't have that. We couldn't have the paycheck stopping. We say no more on that. See, it's a long story, SB9, just to say before we get into what that picture is, who is that, and all that. Before we get into that next bit. It's not snow here. People are saying it's snowing in other parts. This is snowing. Anybody in Ireland, this is snowing for you anyway. Where you are until the more or whatever. Because there's people saying it's snowing somewhere. Because there's a picture of somebody in Donegal, some part of Donegal. Well, it's Sligo somewhere. The hills of Donegal. Oh, you're from Kerry, but is there snow at the moment in Kerry? I'm getting a hard time. Well, I'm always getting a hard time. Um, I'm always getting a hard time. Oh, not as hard now. I'm only joking now. Not that hard time. Yeah, oh yeah, it's pretty cold. Yeah, it's pretty cold here. But there's people saying it was snow in Donegal somewhere. Like, it was snowing actively now. Like, there was a big pile of snow. So that's what I was just asking. Because there's no, literally not a flake of snow out there. It's pretty, like, it's cold, it's freezing. But there's no snow. So I don't know what that fellow in Donegal was talking about. Because I just seen it on Twitter there. Like, not here, but on Twitter. I was just looking on Twitter. And had a picture of some place, like, near Letterkenny or something like that up in Donegal. No stars. Yeah, I didn't see it as the stars. Probably no stars. Yeah. Yeah, it's bitter cold, but no snow. But somebody who said it was snowing in Donegal. Where was that tweet? Sorry, because I just turned on Twitter and then I seen that and was like, "Oh, the snowing in Donegal," and then showed a picture, and now I've lost it because I closed my Twitter app. Uh, I should have kept it open because we could have fact checked it. Fact checkers. Like I don't know what is my Twitter timeline too, because the majority of it is Finnish. Like the majority of my timeline is generally Finnish. I don't know why. Since I went to Finland that time, uh, my timeline's been fucked because there's a lot of Finnish, just Finnish everywhere. The majority of it's Finnish. Like it's insane. Like I just looking through it. I can't find this treat now. I wouldn't mind when I. What if the treat is not here? I should have saved it. I think it must have fucked up somewhere in my Twitter account when I went to Finland because like the majority of it's Finnish. It's more Finnish than English. Like I think it does change when you go to the country's Twitter. Like it goes to their kind of thing. I don't know. I can't find that treat now. Yeah, be careful on the roads. Yeah, definitely. Don't swim in the sea, of course, too. Um, Stay away from motorways and all that. Where is Theresa Mannion? We need her to start shouting about, the like literally. You remember Theresa Mannion? That time with the storm Desmond is coming. It's all about the wind, all about the wind, about the wind. Like literally, she was screaming at the top of her lungs that time. Like we're just done with So, does anybody remember Theresa Mannion? I don't know what to describe it. That time with like in Salt Hill and Cork. No, Cork, not Cork. Galway, Cork. Salt Hill is now in Galway. Uh, so apparently, counties have moved. Also, where in the name of God, like there's some comments I get on YouTube that are very funny. Like somebody was saying to me the other day about my accent. Now can I find this coming up? But in the game, I probably can't find it now. But no, it was pretty funny now. If I could find it, was all about my accent. My accent. Well, in the name, but see, there's that many comments on my YouTube channel. It's very hard to find anything. It wasn't that long ago. See, if you get what day, what time was whatever. It's all about the win, about the win. Oh, mein Gott. Speaking German. Why is he speaking German? Where in the name of Jesus and all that's holy? Where are we? So I'm looking like the majority of the stream is me looking for stuff. Where in the name of God? Sorry, my blind or stupid WhatsApp. Where was it? Sorry, let me try and find it. I'm gonna try and find it. Up in Salt Hill, yeah, that time. Remember, she was shouting like literally. I never seen the like of it. Like we should get Theresa Mannion out with the snow. How old am I? Jeez, me, are you asking me? Oh, I asked somebody else. Jeez, you shouldn't ask people their age. I'm only joking. I'm 31. Why do I look like a 90? Don't make unnecessary. Like, she was literally screaming off the top of her lung. That's what I mean to say. Like, she was literally screaming, and the poor woman was out in it. Uh, like, she generally, like, I'm sure people remember, that was something. Like, Goatee should be probably sued for putting that poor woman at risk, because the hero at that time, you think it was a big tornado coming. Like something like I don't know what you see, but I remember that very well. That was the one time OT was actually some way decent. Uh, Stay away from motorways. Don't take risks on treacherous roads, and don't swim in the sea. It's quite funny. The remix of it too is quite funny too. Give me a second. I'm actively looking for these books. Like, see, the amount of comments I got the last few days is just insane. Why is that not going down now? 21. No, I'm not 21. I'm not 31. Jeez, you're calling me over now. Man, but you probably did, yeah. See, I can't give out my location and stuff like that because, stuff like that. It's just basic security stuff, yeah. But you probably have come across. You probably know. You probably have seen me. You would have probably seen me a few times. I was often about October there. We were on the council, etc., cleaning up and doing different things. You would have probably seen me around October at some stage doing that kind of stuff. Even on the bypass and stuff like that, you would have seen me. Because I'm based in this area, they do that kind of stuff too. So you would have definitely seen me 100% many times, like that kind of thing. And a lot of people would know me. If you asked a few people around October and stuff, they would know straight away who I am. Where in the name of Christ? Excuse my language, but I'm just trying to find this because I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't mind trying to. Where was it? See, there's that much talk. Like, if you look to my YouTube channel now, it's just that much people talk, and this comment and that. So it's great that people are commenting. Of course, don't get me wrong, and people are having discussions about stuff. It's great to see it, but it's just far too much to try when you're trying to find something. My God. Oh, here we are. Finally, 9 billion years later. Where am I? Totally. Is looking good, yeah, but don't question that. That doesn't exist. Just to say, it's a long story. Someday we get into it. That story. Someday we get into it on a video or something because that just appeared someday. Like that's what I. Like don't question it because it's just like if Sean's here, I'd have to tell you about it. It doesn't exist. It's an imagination. Now, with my accent. Now, I don't think I have that bad of an accent. Like, people in Finland understood me well enough, you know. Like, I don't think my accent's that bad. Like, a Kerry accent is pretty bad. Like, a Kerry accent, I can't understand half the time what Danny Healy is saying because he's talking too much in Kerry. Why is the snake speaking Cavanese? I'm so grateful for the auto subtitles. Cavan accent's very strong. And now this thing here, we're allowed to, we're not allowed to say this anymore, but young enough to do something about it and smart enough to take honest advice. Work on losing the accent. I'm only over the road. See, my dyslexia is terrible in Mayo, and I find it difficult to understand a few words here and there. And in fairness to me, like he isn't allowed to say, and I take on board what he says. Probably my accent is that strong. I don't notice it. Probably other people do notice it, but I don't notice it. And particularly when I get very flustered, I turn into somebody from Kerry, and then you can't understand a word what I say. And like Matty McGrath too, when I get flustered, As I said, not as bad as the person from Kerry. Like, imagine trying to listen to a Kerry person, like an actual Kerry person from Kerry. Like, listen to Danny Healy for 5 minutes and see what can you understand. Can you see people in Monaghan to have a funny way of saying you can do that. So I'm not the second biggest YouTuber. Jeez, though, that farmer that's a YouTuber. There's another farmer, Adrian Suppin. No, Aiden Suppin. Sorry, Aiden Suppin. Aiden Suppin. Every person in Cavan. Do I know every person in Cavan? No, I don't know every person in Cavan. Jeez, I would prefer to know anybody. Like, I know a lot of people. Yeah, like we have people from Wed Hills. I'm sure you know Wed Hills, but it's here, this area, but it's Bridge and stuff like that. It's very close to the border. We kind of have northern enough accents. Particularly people in Wed Hills have more northern accents than you and me, I suppose. But the majority of people in Wed Hills would have more of a northern. I don't know if you know anybody from Wed. They have northern accents with it, like northern Irish accents. Because we're that close. Like we're generally about 2 minutes down the road from Northern Ireland, basically. Hello, David. How are you doing? How dare you carry accent? Yeah. Oh, but Jesus, no. But if I didn't well enough in Finland. Like a lot of people understood me. They understood me. I didn't have to repeat myself and stuff like that. So they understood what I was talking about. And a lot of people knew straight away I was Irish, too. I wonder why, because I have big pins of Irish flags and so. So, anyway, I hope you're well, David. I hope you're doing well. What's on the T-shirt tonight, Adrian? I don't even know. I bought this T-shirt somewhere one time. I don't know. Whatever that is. I don't know. It's some kind of logo and stuff. It's nothing really important. These are not really important shorts. There's more important ones I have and stuff. How did the painting turn out? Oh, you're asking him. Sorry, I thought you were asking me. I was going to say, what painting? Like, the man who's supposed to paint this wall, I haven't paid and all that. Like, imagine I haven't paid. I actually haven't paid to paint the wall and stuff like that. And he still hasn't got around to me. I'm literally going to go mad at him. Like, I haven't paid and all that. He's supposed to paint the whole walls here. And he still hasn't done it. And I'm waiting it's cold for him to do it. And I haven't paid up front for it. So he doesn't even have to have the money paid and everything for him. Like, it's insane. I know he's busy, like he's always on the move around here, like he's always getting work. But still, nonetheless, he should do it at some point. I need to I probably should ring him and find out, because the last time I was on was a few weeks ago. Well, you should have seen, there was some videos of it. Like these videos I have up from Finland, up 5 months ago. You look back 5 months ago on the channel. There's videos of me going around Finland and stuff. Not that many. There's more photos of me discussing about stuff. Not so much showing videos. Next time I go over, there'll be not more videos and stuff. Because see, in Finland, people are very private and want to be the personal space respected, etc., etc. So you can't just go into their face and put a camera in their face, because it'd be very disrespectful, especially me going over as a tourist. Different as a Finnish person. I have no entitlement to go over and put it into their face. Say you have to do this and that. I probably pronounced your name wrong. My apologies. Again, I'm dyslexic, so you have to work with me on terms of pronouncing names, etc., etc. Because my dyslexia is atrocious. Just to say to you, used to colour. Yeah, we used to colour. We have to probably do that again at some point. Not now, obviously, but in the future we have to do it. I used to have colouring books and stuff. See, the reason why I stopped that because all my colours went out and I was too miserable to buy any more new ones. No, I'm only joking. I'm not miserable to buy new ones. I have to get buying new ones. That's the only reason why we never do colouring. But after the election, we'll probably do some relaxed streams, because I probably would need it after the election, just to sit down for a week and do nothing and just colour or do something. Because after all this, I'm going to be having a break for a while. And then obviously we have the thing in January coming up that's going to drive me up the bend too. With the big suits and the big tuxedos, etc., etc., in Dublin. That's going to be great. Maybe, yeah, maybe. But not so much in New York. I don't know. See, I've never been in New York, so I couldn't tell you that, but I presume so. There was a survey done one time here a few years ago about where all Cavan people, the majority of Cavan people are. Do we know? Graduation, no. It's something worse than that. No, we're not worse than that. It's a long story. Uh, Fiona would know about it there. She was here at the time. I think Sean was here. Everyone only was here at the time talking about it too. Like, I think Fiona knows. You will find out sooner or later. I put it up again. It's up in the community post. I put it up again at some point to say about we need enough the time. But it's not graduation. I didn't go to college and stuff like that. I don't really want to go to college anyway because it's just too much. I got it hard to get through secondary school, so I don't think college is for me. The issues. Of the house, yeah, but there's tons of like there's more white flags here than there is in Timbuktu. It is his wedding. No, I'm not. Jesus, the price of a wedding nowadays. Are you kidding me? Me having to pay for a wedding. Jesus Christ. Like, no, but in all seriousness and all jokes aside there, like, a price of a wedding nowadays, guess how much? You'd be paying 50,000. 50,000, yeah. 50,000 euro for a wedding nowadays. That's how much it costs. Like, it does generally cost 50,000 for the function, for the priest, the dresses, all that. Like, that's what it is. On a date, no. No, but that's what it does cost the wedding. Like, Jesus Christ, you honestly would have to buy the bank, rob the bank 20 times over. Well, oh, you mean Breffney College? I went to Breffney College, yeah. If that was it, yeah. I would have been very active. I would have remembered me if she was there at the time I was there. And the Green schools and stuff. I was heavily in the Green schools and stuff. No, it is an Irish flag. No, you're 100% right. That's an Irish flag, yeah. I have multiple flags here. There's more of them over there. Well, there used to be a pole flag. I don't know where that went. Oh, there it is. I'm blind. Hello, Lenny. How are we doing? Like, no, generally that's what it was. Because it was on the radio there a few weeks ago. And there was a woman had a wedding in Cavan, like with a few friends, but let's say 50 friends, I think it was. And she booked the hotel, right? The hotel was a lot of money. She got a cake, she got a dress. The husband had to get a suit and all that. It's insane. And then the church to pay for the church, the flowers. It's a lot of money. The wedding cows. It's a lot of money. Like, that's why nobody gets married nowadays. It's a lot of money to do it. Like, a lot of people nowadays do go for the way they go out to the hospital there in Cavan. There's a place there, the registry office, and they go in there because it's cheaper. Like, it's a lot of money. Like, even take for example my mother and father when they got married back in the early 90s. At that time it was nearly £2,000, which probably God knows how much that'd be now. But it was €2,000 back then. So it's always been dear enough, but 50,000 now nearly. And this is true. You look up the average cost, it would be. Maybe if you cut back on a few things, it'd be less, but you'd still be paying thousands. It's that insane. Like, just for a basic wedding, nearly now, it is. Yeah, I had Miss Tully. No, I didn't have her for history now. She was in the school. She was over special needs in the school. I didn't have her for history. But she was the teacher. Yeah, she was a teacher. I didn't have her for history now. I didn't have her for maths. She taught maths too. I didn't have her for that. But I know you taught her. So she definitely went to Bethany College, yeah. She had Miss Tully for maths, yeah, maths and history she had. Yeah, you're right. No, this is the Irish flag, yeah. Yeah, don't worry, we'll be gone in a few minutes away. I had to say no. Honest to God, I've never been at a wedding. I've never been at a wedding in all my life. I've never been at a wedding. I was invited to 6 or 7 weddings on my life, and I never went. So I probably should go with something. Imagine I'm 21 and never went to a wedding. Like, God forbid, I've gone to that many funerals. I don't know. Like, I can write the book on it. I try, but I don't know. I have a few more videos to record and stuff like that. But I'll probably pop in at some point. See, I often do pop in. You wouldn't notice me there. I don't really type and stuff, but I'd be often listening in the background. Like, I have this computer open. I'll be tricking about here, doing things, and that's that really. Aye, but no, it's a good thing, I suppose, too. But it's the price nowadays. Like, that's why nobody really gets married nowadays. That's really because it is a lot of money. Like, it is generally. It might not be 50,000 for everybody, but in a lot of cases, it is near enough 30 to 40,000. That's what it was. Because the woman on the radio, and she had a base, she cut back and stuff for a wedding, and still that. But the way to make it back, But the way to make it back is on gifts. You know the way you bring gifts. People bring gifts and they make it back in money terms and stuff like that. Oh, I try and have a good sense of humor. Yeah, I always do try because the point in life is to have fun and have a laugh. Because especially when it comes to politics and stuff like that, you're talking to people suffering and people in pain, etc., etc. You have to try and find some kind of bright side because if you're doom and gloom all the time, uh, you know, it'll be a very negative atmosphere. And again, you have to find something to laugh about because it's either that or you cry about it. It's either one of the two, and it's better to laugh than cry. So I always try and be anyway. So I always try. I do try my best. I think that's the important thing. Yeah, it's only if you like. That's I knew a family that got married and they were doing it for tax purposes. The way they get a few extra euro back in tax if they get married, and they went to the registry office. It was only a few hundred. That's all. That was it. Compared to a house, no fancy cake, no fancy. It's maybe a meal in the local hotel, but no fancy cake, no fancy this. Like it's a lot of money. Like you nearly would buy a house for that. So not many people would get married. No young person now would get married for that because you nearly buy a house. And that's being very generous, 50,000. Yeah, that's the sad thing. It is the truth. But I've been at more funerals than weddings. Like I say, I've been at probably 100, maybe 200 like funerals, not weddings, funerals, all my life. It's pretty sad to think about. It is pretty sad to think about. Like I've been at a lot of funerals. You were organising weddings. Your job was organised, so you were kind of like an organizer, wedding organizer. Yeah, it can be mayhem too. Yeah, but no, the cost nowadays is just too much. That's why nobody gets married nowadays. It's too much money. Years ago was simpler. Nowadays everything has to be too elaborate and there's too much money for this. It's insane, and that's the problem. We talk about maybe some point in the video because you look at the drop in the amount of people getting married every year. It's very noticeable compared to 50 years ago. It's very noticeable. It's really noticeable. But I probably will go to a wedding someday. I probably should go to a wedding someday, just for the laugh sometime. So yeah, anything else? We'll probably leave. We'll probably leave it there for tonight because we've been here for a good while. I do appreciate everybody being here. Your own wedding, yes, your own wedding. That's the time I go to my own wedding. Very good, Sean. I'm sure you have an idea or something. But yeah, I would have to go to my own wedding. Well, do you know what I do actually? Here, hold on a second. I have a good scheme. I have a good scheme. Listen to this. We organize the wedding and we make the woman pay for it, and then I turn up. When she pays for it herself, then I turn up after that. How does that sound? So when the woman pays for all the wedding, she pays the 50,000. Then I turn up to the wedding. So I wait outside in the car, and I have my hands crossed until she pays for it herself, and then I come in. How does that sound? That's a good idea, Sean. I tell that to the wife. Yeah, Sean Quinn, he's coming back. He's doing well. Like he's coming back, Sean Quinn. He's coming back because he has a back door into the. There was a fellow from Red Hills about the sleeve Russell, but he has a back door. I say Sean Quinn into the sleeve Russell now. Good night. I can never pronounce it, but good night. Thank you for being here. People started off yeah. I got but don't go there now. I didn't do that one. I had to live with my mother-in-law for about 2 years before we got the house. Yeah. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like imagine trying to get married and paying for the wedding, then paying for a house, or God forbid a child or stuff. Like you would honestly have to be a multi-billionaire. Like you genuinely would have to be a multi-billionaire. The bank wouldn't be good enough. You would have to rob the whole banks in the country. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's night and day, isn't it? It's night and day. Think about that. And even though 28,000 would have been a lot of money back in the day, but still, it was doable. It was doable. Something that could have been achieved. Because money went further years ago. Money went further. If you had 50 euro, take for example, you had 50 euro. Watch the cavan man's actually going to take your money. What do I have in here? Cavan man actually POV. A cavan man's actually opened his wallet. He's opened his wallet. Oh my God, there's flies and everything in it. There's all the flies are coming up. But take for example, you had 50 euro. You had 50 euro, right? Listen to this. Cavan man with a 50 euro. I had this in 1986. this €50 note before the euro was even established. Take for example, you had £50 back in the day in Ireland, £50, which would have been a huge amount of money. That would probably be €200 in modern currency, £50 back in the 60s, back in the 50s, as you were saying, or in the 80s. That would be €100 or €200 today. That would go further. The money went further back years ago. Nowadays, you break in a 50. Say, for example, I go down to my local shop now, and I went into the shop and I bought a few Pringles, a drink, stuff like that. I handed the €50 in. You get fuck all back. You get €10 back, and then it'll be gone within the week. Like, do me a favor now tomorrow. Take a €50 note, break on it, go into the shop, and see how much you come out with. You're going to go out about €10, €5, because things are that expensive nowadays. You have no money back. Years ago, money went further. So that's what I'm saying. Money went 40 years ago, but nowadays it doesn't. It just disappears. Oh, well, I try my best. I do try my best. I have my serious moments too, but yeah. I think. I don't know how to describe it. I agree with you in the certain way, Lenny, but I do think it's just it's just consumerism, if it makes any sense. I think it's just over consumerism. We always want something. We want meat. We want more. We always want more and stuff like that. That's why in Finland, take for example, after being in Finland, I knew people who have good jobs. They have good jobs working for political parties in Finland. Take for example, just the last point of the night, and they're happy. They have a house. They got a house for 100,000 or so, and they have a good job and stuff like that. They don't want an even bigger house. They don't want a bigger car, etc. So they're just happy where they are. They don't want more, basically. They're happy with what they have. And I think that's why Finland is the happiest country in the world. Because they don't always want more, the way if you have a car, or majority of Irish people, teachers, say, for example, if they have a car, they want to get a new car. They want to get the latest version, etc., etc. That's why in Finland, they're happy when they get a house and stuff. They don't want another thing. They're happy with what they have. They don't always want more of them. It's all about consumerism. And I think that's what put a lot of people off. That it's all about making the rich richer, etc., etc. And the majority of things we buy every day is things that we probably don't even need, If that makes any sense, I don't know if that makes sense to you, Lenny, but I'm sure you get what I'm saying. But I do agree with you on that point too, with the cow-to-cows fraud. I do agree with you too. I do agree 100% with you on that. You know what I'm saying, but you see it all the time with teachers, etc. I remember teachers, they always wanted the new cow, etc., etc. It's all about consumerism. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not as I say to you, money be there when you're dead and gone. It's enjoying yourself. That's what that's what I say. Money be there when you're dead and gone. When you have the money, use it and enjoy yourself with it. That's what I say. But at the same time, be wise, I suppose, to be be financially what would you say, stable, I suppose. But here we leave it there. I was supposed to be gone at 9 o'clock. You kept me 10 minutes late. Disgraceful. I'm only joking, but anyway, thank you, everyone. Enjoy the West United. I'll talk to you again. We'll probably be back Saturday, I say, hopefully. We see how we go. There'll be videos up. There'll probably be no phone videos tonight. There'll be videos uploaded later tomorrow, but not tonight. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Enjoy the West United, and goodbye.